It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
We just secured the bag.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Effing melts.
You know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
Let me have my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye, boom.
You got to run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we just secured the bag.
But, like, you got to promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll be around like my favorite movie. Time. It's so great, Pittsburgh.
It's not like I tried to be a character. It sort of happened naturally.
the best guys, Tony Khan.
Keep themselves safe.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're 1 and 1 for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling has always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes! I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're 1 One for all, the writing's on the wall. We are the youth of wow. We call us problem child. We spend our nights on trial. We want an endless smile. We are the youth of wow. We stand, we won't fall. We're one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth of wow. Wow. Yay!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
Ooh, what's happening, guys? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. Yeah. I am your host, the infallible, the fanatical, and the quite frank Phil Marks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here. Yes, we're here for another one. Another amazing Wednesday. Another Dynamite that nobody really cares about. Let's be honest. We're all here to listen to PWT and check in with Phil Marks and look at what the sickos are doing. Review some real graps. No. But review some WWE. As you can see in the title, Raw and NXT absolutely cooked. I'm going to talk about those. Carlito's canceled. Okay, we're canceling people. No, not really, but people are outraged over whatever he said on Raw. So we're going to get to that probably. I'll maybe do it. Save it to the end of the Raw review, maybe. I don't know. Depends. It's always a freestyle here at PWT. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Braun Breaker Jey Uso match. Can I get a yeet? Or maybe a no yeet? And yeah, lots of sickos, lots of Meltzer, lots of hot news for everything. TNA hot news. We've got WWE, AEW, everything. So let me check in with chat, and then we're going to dive into Phil Marks, bookmarks. But before I do that, guys, at Pro Wrestle Times is all of my socials. YouTube.com/at Pro Wrestle Times. We're at like 1,400 subs or something. And then over here, we're at like 4,700, almost 5. I don't know. Round of applause for you guys. You're goated. I have to acknowledge you guys.
Acknowledge me.
And yeah, just everything's going really well. And I appreciate it. There's lots of people listening to the pod. I think if you follow on Spotify or Apple or anything like that, I think I had like 6 uploads. So go up there. So this month alone. So that was amazing. And also coming up soon, and hopefully people are just filing in. I started a little early here today, I know, because there's a lot to get to, an exciting show. And we're going to watch Dynamite, of course, folks. But coming up soon is Crown Jewel, November the 2nd, which we will be doing a live show for. Also, November the 2nd is the cutoff day for the contest. So we're doing this big contest. I'm bringing someone you all know from the chat in for a bit. I don't think he's going to hang out the whole time, but he's going to come in and he's going to help me discuss. I guess we're just going to break down what the contest is for you guys. You know what I mean? And I might have some people pop in too, just so you know. I had some folk reach out last minute that will be really fun, who apparently got time tonight. So this will be a great show, trust me. But joining me now to just break down the contest. So we're doing a big giveaway on Survivor Series, which is November 30, I want to say. I should know these things. But yeah, on the 2nd, Crown Jewel is like the cutoff. So joining me now is George Captor.
Stunning introduction. Stunning.
Thanks, man. How are you doing?
Good. Very good. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Why don't you let the good folks know you wanted to hop on and basically break down what the giveaway is here with PWT. You approached me. You're like, yo, I want to do something for the universe. You're like an avid, you're one of our brilliant mods, of course, and you're an avid rabid member of the PWT universe, if you will. And yeah, why don't you spill your piece, man? Say your piece. What do you got to say here?
Well, if you remember, way back when I first started listening to you, I think I sent you a DM telling you that I don't pay for content.
Yeah.
And I only paid for yours, and I think Marvin, that's it.
Yeah.
So I've been with you for a long time.
Marvin.
I've been with you for a long time, and I've been trying to follow and keep up with you guys. And the community that we have in the chat is awesome.
Right.
And what I figured I'd do, and I got some extra money coming in.
Oh, there you go.
And figured that we could do a little contest.
Yeah, so he wants to give back to you, the PWT universe that's there for him. You guys know what I'm saying? You guys are there for him. He's like, I got to be there for you. So George approached me. He's like, yeah, let's do like a 3-tier giveaway. So what's going to go down is I should have made a graphic or something. But if you're a member, come November 2nd is the date, right, George? That's Crown Jewel?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so on Crown Jewel, during the live show, George is going to come in. We're going to say what's up to him. We're going to check in with him. We're going to do 3-tier giveaway. First tier is a PS5 with a controller. The second tier is a game of your choice, right?
Correct.
And then, but obviously something not like 007 for the fucking N64 that's rare and there's only 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Within
that's
like
gonna kill my
something new.
pocketbook.
Yeah, like new gen. And then we're gonna do the last tier is a t-shirt from any whatever wrestler t-shirt you want from like Pro Wrestle Tees, Shop AEW, WWE Shop, whatever. And if you're like, so there's 3 tiers of subscriptions for PWT. I appreciate you guys giving me the support. I don't got to read you guys ads and stuff like that if you keep supporting me. So everybody that's a member from November 2 is the cutoff. You get entered in. Each tier gets more entries. So I think the Tribal Chief tier will get 5 entries each. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, there's going to be 3 winners. I think, yeah, you can win multiple times. So yeah, we like to give back. I don't know. I give away gift card before. We've done other little I think memberships and stuff like that. So this is like a big one. And I'm Canadian. Survivor Series is in Canada. George approached me with this and I said, let's do it. So yeah, and then the draw will be done like at random. So be here for the Crown Jewel live stream so everybody knows like, you know, what the cutoff. Make sure you're a member, you know, just make sure your name's green or whatever. And then also that's for Crown Jewel. And then Survivor Series is when we're doing the actual draw. I think you guys get the picture. I think I explained it enough. George, anything you need to add to that or anything I'm missing there?
I'm assuming that what we're going to do is we're going to do the 3rd place winner first, and then the 2nd place. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
and then you get like 5 entries if you're a Tribal Chief, 3 entries if you're a Superstar, 1 if you're or something like that. We'll work it out. I don't know. Maybe it'll be like 3, 5, and 7 or something. But either way, if you're a higher tier, you get more entries, rest assured. And then we're just going to do it at random. Like I'm going to go to like a random name picker aggregator thing. We're going to enter in all the names. And yeah, we're just we'll run them. So
make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen. George, you're making it happen because I appreciate you coming to me with this. I'm glad we can like collab to do this sort of thing. And yeah, you're helping the PWT universe and you're helping me. And I just appreciate you a lot, man. Everybody, round of applause for George Capture for
yeah, it's awesome. I appreciate it.
Yes. So George, what's up, man? What do you got going on? I'm about to talk about Raw. Are you interested in talking about Raw with me for a bit?
I can hang for a little while.
Yeah, why don't you hang out with me for like, let's do Raw really quick. And because I don't know, buddy, I love you. Let's get to super chats first. David Carradine's Closet. Jesus Christ. That's such a vicious name, man. Oh, my stepmother knew him too, so that's crazy. I think I said that before on the show. But about Carlito, we already have R-Truth to do this comedy. Why do we need more? Well, I'll get to that. Please stick around as we dive into Phil Marks Bookmarks. We're going to preview the Dynamite card, but we're also going to talk about Raw. So I'm actually going to share the screen here first because I want to talk about Raw first. And boom. So I'm not going to jump ahead. Stick around and I will explain all of this Thank you for the super chat. Hilarious name, even though it's kind of sick. But this is different comedy than R-Truth's comedy. I'm going to leave your super chat here starred, and I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Savage Wrestling Podcast for $5 says PWT. Yeah. Where is it? Where's my Sorry, buddy. What's up, buddy? Good to see you back. And yeah, the flute's in the chat. What's up? Also, Savage Wrestling Podcast gifted 5 Pro Wrestle Clips memberships, and that's what it's all about too, man. You're gonna help other people
Tony Khan
win doing shit like that. And then look at Plinian gifted 5, and that's what I mean. We have such a crazy, awesome community here. We're roasting the sickos, and we're uplifting ourselves. We're sadistic bastards. Yeah, maybe we're the sickos, George.
And all these people become eligible for the giveaway too.
Yeah, exactly, man. So there you go. We're all doing Dashing Purple. What's your opinion on Delta's new name? We're gonna get to that. Also, did they even say her name on the broadcast? Is it Zaria or is it Zaria? You know? Maybe chat can tell me, but thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And then Tyranitar J&D gifted 5 Pro Wrestle Clips memberships. Round of applause for just everyone super chatting, but most importantly, gifting the memberships. I mean, wow. We got people in the PWT universe want other people in the PWT universe to try and win this shit. They're not like, no, I want my chances to increase. They're like, dude, we're going to gift some out. And it's going to, you know what I mean? I love it. I love it. That's what I love to see more than anything. Yeah, shout out everybody who just super chatted or gifted in. I appreciate you all. And yes, David Carradine's Closet. I'm going to get back to that. Okay, so let's check in with the chat, and then let's get into the actual review here. Not much Lincoln. Y'all are chopping it up. I try and check into what here. I'm just going to try and show. There's so many of you chat. We got to just show all the member chats as quick as I can here. And I thought you loved us. I know I played the Jericho too, but do you know what? That was the randomness of the algorithm. Do you know what I did? I hit it shuffle on the playlist. So it chose to play Jericho second, not me. So blame YouTube. Yeah, 100 of you in here. Run the likes up, get them to 100. I won't ask for any more throughout the show. And yeah, that's what I was waiting for basically is rambling till we get 100 people in here, and then let's get it going. So yeah, fill with the facts off the rip always. So here, I got to jump way ahead. There's so many of you. I can't show them all, but out here, guns blazing. Hey, yo. Okay, let's go, guys. Let's get into the show. So we'll review Dynamite in that, but we got time, like as far as like review the card that's to come, I guess preview it rather. Who really cares, guys? I mean, are we George, what about you, man? Are you keeping up? Are you watching AEW every week or just tuning in?
No.
Yeah.
No, I listen to you because I can't watch it. Can't do it.
Yeah. I quit. I can't claim that I've never missed on AEW anymore because yeah, I have not watched a lot of collisions and rampages lately. I feel like
I tried.
Man, you can only do so much with what the product is, you know what I mean? But anyways, we had the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia. We're going to talk about how NXT is going to the what's it called? The 2300
arena.
Yeah, the 2300 there, and the ECW arena, and that was announced as well, and that thing sold out in like a millisecond. So anyways, this show is in what's up?
You realize you're going to be on air that night, right?
Of course, yeah.
It's a Wednesday.
Oh, yes, and it's head-to-head. Yeah, so we're going to watch them head-to-head. I'm going to and it's actually head-to-head, I believe, starting at the same time, too.
Bingo. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm going to have both screens set up, and we're going head-to-head, baby. I'm going to review it segment by segment. Maybe we won't do a lot of, like, hot news and bookmarks that night. It will be me just locked in, like, okay, they're doing this, this is stupid, this is good, etc. David Carradine, oh, yeah, we already got that. And then new member, Dashing Purple, became a new member. Bruh, welcome to the Fam Jam. Okay, so let's talk about this Raw, okay? We had an Intercontinental Championship match, the rematch, which I don't know. I kind of had a feeling they were going to hot potato this belt when they announced like they're doing a rematch again so soon. I kind of felt like this is where it was going. Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed was just, we're going to do quick reviews here. It was chaotic mayhem throughout the night. They're brawling. Seth storms out. He's like, I'm going to make you famous. And he just storms through Gorilla. He's in the ring. All the security come out. Bronson's just, when Bronson Reed shows up, you know, like shit's about to explode. Things are going to collapse. Bodies are going to go flying. I loved it just throughout the night in general. And I love this feud, and it elevates Bronson Reed. All the marks. What about Jonah? He fought Okada. And hey, he's fighting Seth Rollins. I mean, that is Okada level. Way beyond Okada, in my opinion, but I mean, I don't know and I am a big Okada fan, but I'm just saying, like, currently in 2024, Seth is like what Okada was in, 2016 in Japan or whatever. But George, what did you think about the whole Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, just mayhem throughout the night?
To me, it's amazing what they've done with Bronson Reed in such a short time. He wasn't even on TV, and next thing you know, he's just splashing or tsunamiing Seth Rollins 6 times, and they turned him into a monster like overnight. That's all people talk about is Bronson Reed.
Yep.
And this adds to his chaotic nature, and what they got going with him is amazing.
And you're watching Raw every week, hey? Do you like the 2 hours or the 3 hours better?
I like the 2 because I'm old and I can go to sleep. But I can see where people like the 3. I prefer the 2 because I prefer to be in bed by a certain time. Sorry.
Makes sense, man. Okay, so yeah, this guy rated it an A, and yeah, Rollins is yelling, "You want me to make you famous," etc. So they're having like a number 1 contendership or tournament type thing for the world tag titles. The New Day take on Authors of Pain. A bunch of shenanigans go down. So R-Truth runs in. He sort of sides with the New Day. The Wyatt Six show up. They attack the Final Testament, which I think is great stuff. And they're going to do good stuff back and forth. And Paul Ellering got, he saved The Miz, which is going to make The Miz like go full in on the Final Testament faction, I feel like, which is Meltzer's saying he thinks Ellering's going to be gone. Because of this, maybe
would know.
Who knows? But I don't know. We'll talk about that later. But the Miz could just be their mouthpiece or something. Who knows? Karrion can talk, but I don't know. The idea of Karrion and Miz teaming up, as well as having the AOP as their heaters, that's cool. Xavier's kind of doing his heel thing. R-Truth is sort of like inserting himself. I don't want to say in the New Day the way Odyssey Jones was, but he's kind of like playing the role. I bet we're going to see some of the story play out that was supposed to play out with Jones with R-Truth alongside the New Day, because Miz is involved with the Final Testament right now. It makes sense. A little pivot after whatever happened with Odyssey Jones. We covered it here on the show. And then the Wyatt Six comes out. They're mixing it up with Final Testament. I'm okay with it. The New Day defeat AOP, and they get a shot at the World Tag Titles. And I don't know if the New Day get it done, but they're kind of like, that breakup needs to happen, or we need to see another World Tag Title run. That's just my opinion. What say you, George?
I like what they're doing with the Wyatt Six right now, putting them with the Final Testament. I think that's a perfect spot for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Wyatt Six is top of the card, but I think they found a good spot. Plus, Karrion Kross's group has been kind of just there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They don't. Yeah. I don't see any fan reactions. I don't hear anything. I mean, my son's into it. He never talks about them. Nothing like that. So.
Okay, and how old's your son?
Do I have to tell you? Because I'm going to feel even older. No, he's 32.
No, that's totally.
No, my son's 32 years old.
Yeah, so my age, dude. So he gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm not super into the Final Testament or whatever either. But if they're going to get beat up by Wyatt Six, it's like, okay, so Cross and Bo Dallas doing promos back and forth. Okay, let's go. I'm into it. I might be skimming over stuff, but yeah, we got a Raquel vignette, like promo package of her talking that ish, and that was okay. It was what it was. And then so Rhea comes out right during this segment where it was Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson, who I don't know, I think they're main roster ready. They're taking on Damage Control, Kairi Sane and Io Sky. And so Liv and Rodriguez are out here. They're talking about Nia Jax. Mommy comes back. She puts Liv in like a prism trap. She escapes. Dom gets put in the prism trap. And I don't know, the eruption when Rhea got her hands on Dom was crazy. So eventually she's going to like hit him with that riptide. The whole place is going to erupt. And I don't know, man. I know a lot of people are saying they can't milk this till Mania. Maybe I agree. Like maybe you finish it off by like the Rumble latest, maybe even earlier than that, but because you're trying to set something up for Mania for Rhea and Bianca, I think that is the big money match. But I think Bianca and Jade could be a big match too. So I don't know. I'm way ahead of myself fantasy booking, but yeah, it is what it is. Was what it was. It was just get Mommy out there to pop the crowd and have Dirty Dom and Liv doing their thing because it gets ratings or whatever. Are you into all this stuff, George? And what about, like, how do you feel about Raquel?
I think they kind of maybe dropped the ball on her debut or re-debut back in there.
Yeah.
When they brought her out for the show, I remember sitting there thinking nobody knows who she is or nobody remembered who she was. Yeah. I mean, when she left the show, she had a nice little following going, I thought. And now, I don't know, they got to get her back. They got to get her back where she was before.
No, you're right. And she is back. Yeah. Look at that back pass.
Give me the back spread.
Yeah, spread that back on my plane. Sorry. So yeah, what's his face? Adam Pearce snaps. It was cool. He just flipped out on the brawls that were going on, and he's like, how do you guys know that I'm not going to give you what you want? That was the whole Seth and Bronson Reed stuff. We talked about that. Then we had Ray and Dragon Lee team up, which I love. I love it, man. I love it so much. I've been waiting for this for a while, and Dragon Lee could be the next Rey Mysterio. It's crazy though, because you got Rey Fenix coming in there, and to me, he's real good. I know he like hurts himself because he's so crazy, but he has size for a guy who can do like how good he can fly around. He's not like the littlest guy doing that. You know what I mean? And he can fly. So, and his mask is cool. His look is cool. His moves are cool. To me, I just can't wait till it's such a shame we're not getting the Lucha Brothers for like another year. I can't wait till they come in, because Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio versus the Lucha Brothers, my word, would that be some amazing Lucha Libre action. I, of course, am a Lucha mark, to some degree, I will say. Not if the whole show, I'm not like going out of my way to watch every CMLL event or whatever, but I will, I do enjoy it, you know what I mean? I won't lie. But also they took on American Made, and Mysterio and Lee wins, and it's like, what does American Made do? They have a great look, they have great music, they have new gear, their story was really cool of how they came to be, and now there's just like they're just losing to everybody. It seems like, where did they go? What do they do next? I saw someone online say send them to SmackDown. I think that's a great idea. And they can mix it up and beat like Theory and Waller and beat the Street Profits and get their shot against Machine Guns or something maybe. But they need something to freshen them up. I'd send that whole faction over to like NXT / SmackDown. But I think people are really invested in the story. But this was like a pretty solid match. And again, part of this tournament. George, were you into this? Are you into the LWO or American Made?
I like Mysterio and I like Dragon Lee. American Made, I think Cornette summed it up best, telling us that they're green still. They're very green. They seem a bit dangerous.
Yep.
At times. But the potential it's there.
I just hope they let Chad Gable show up with American Made at a blood sport soon and do like the whole, like his whole healing on the crowd and everything. Cause they got MVP taking on Josh Barnett right away, which is amazing. And I know that MVP's in AEW, but we've seen the Creeds in Bloodsport already. I would love to see them show up with Gable and Ivy Nile. And I just think that'd be even have Ivy Nile have a match in Bloodsport. I think that, or even Gable. Imagine Gable have the whole team go there. They don't even all have to go over, but I think that really lended them some credibility. But I agree, they're green. I called that out when they got called up. Originally, I was like, I don't think it's yet. I think you should have them kind of be the guys like your Steiner brothers of NXT for a while and just kind of, but I don't know. That's been Fraxium as far as like they've had the long reign with the tag titles. Whereas whatever, we're going backwards booking now, you dumb marks. But yeah, it is what it is. And I'm loving Lee and Mysterio here. Intercontinental Championship though. Jey Uso, Braun Breaker. Okay. Match to me was pretty solid. It got a little, the false finishes, like where we're hitting each other's shit and everyone's kicking out of shit. WWE typically does them well, but because I've seen this match recently and I've kind of just seen Breaker he does the same shit. I'm sorry. It's always the same shit, kind of like someone's going to try and spear him out of the ring, or he's out of the ring. I'm not hating on him at all. And I'm glad that what happened. I am glad. I know that we love Jey Uso here, but I'm glad that Braun won the belt back. He can go on his next little reign. I made the joke, they put the belt on Jey Blue, so just to turn the belt blue. Put that little blue into the belt and then to give it back to Braun. I'm of course just joking, and Chad, I see you guys. We're getting off this review here. But I think that hot potatoing the belts around are never a good idea, but also we just had Gunther reign with that belt for so long. We had Roman reign with his belt for so long, and then Cody's been on a lengthy title run. I just think that I'm never a fan of hot potatoing it around, but I will say that, like, I'm not mad at this. This sort of makes sense, like the Bloodline. Now, I don't like how the Bloodline are like, we're going to help you, Jay. We're here to help you. And then all of a sudden, Jacob's just attacking him and shit. It was just stupid. They should have just came out and, like, attacked Jay. And then he's like, what the hell? And then they just beat the shit out of Breaker 2 or something. Or maybe that's too much. I think that would have been more simpler, though, instead of like, no, we're here to help you. But now the Tongans are jumping at you from out of the crowd, and then Jacob's going to beat you up. And, but like when we had the Breaker Jacob face off, man, I was like, oh shit, the crowd was red hot too the whole night. And yeah, the crowd just erupted. We got that stare down. That's like, oh my God, wait till we get that match one day. It was cool seeing Jacob and them on Raw. We've seen him in NXT now, SmackDown, of course, and then now Raw. And I love it because now Jay has like no choice, though. He's got to go. He's going to side up with Jimmy. They're going to take on the GODs. It's going to be insane. And then we have, and I could see the story going like this too. I could see the Usos uniting, like Jay showing up to screw the Tongans out of their tag title match with the Motor Cities. Right? Because you got to think, like, they got to get the belts off of Bloodline. They can't really beat them clean. They're new in the company. And I know they have their match with DIY, but obviously they're going to win that. And then it's like, we need to not have the Motor Cities and the Tongans go into an immediate rematch so they can be sidetracked with the Usos or whatever. Maybe, I don't know. I'm jumping ahead again. But either way, I do like how it advances the story. I hate that term to advance the story. It's like everything advances a story, whether it's like a baby step or a shitty step or I guess a backward step wouldn't technically advance it. But, everything progresses a story, but I get, quality is what we're talking about when we say that. So it advances the story well. It was a little messy though, but like a solid main event, and course is corrected. Everyone crying about Breaker. You know, I'm sure Rikishi had a fit over Jay losing, but everyone's saying was mad about Breaker losing. There you go. He got the win back. I think he won the trilogy as well, and he gets to go on and defend the belt against, I don't know, good handful of guys. And yeah, I guess my thoughts are I can't wait to see SmackDown because we're probably going to be yeeting over on SmackDown again. And I think the story goes like Jay acts solo, no pun intended, and he like messes the Tongans up, and then Jimmy's like, yeah, see, I knew you were come around, and he's like, no, dude, I did that for me. Like, they messed my shit up. You know what I mean? And then maybe later in the show, Jacob's beating him down because Jay's already been like, I'm going to smack this guy. And then we had like Jacob beat up Jay in the match. So maybe there Jacob's beating him down. And then that's when we get Roman, Jimmy hit the ring. And it's like the revert. Because we all think it's going to be like Roman's getting beat down. Then the yeet hits. Maybe WWE loves to just swerve us. So maybe because Roman's so fucking over, you know, it's like, might as well, it could be Roman. The pop will be just as big. Whatever. I don't know. I'm fantasy Mark booking at this point. I'll give myself an X-Files. But overall, I love the Raw. What did you think, George, of the main event picture there? And what do you think about my ramblings?
You're spot on, first off. But I like what they did with Braun Breaker. They took the belt off him for a very good reason. That was to make money off the Yeet thing with Jey Uso.
Yeah.
I mean, there was money to be made. They made a boatload of cash.
Yeah.
And now they got to get the belt off them to get into the bloodline story. So
yeah,
it all made sense. I mean, I can understand you not wanting to flip-flop, but it made sense.
I agree. I had the feeling when they booked it. And also, yeah, just to progress the bloodline stuff, we need to get Jay to be like, all right, I'll team with you guys, even if it's reluctantly. And then they can redeem themselves to Jay, right? These are stories, folks. This is storytelling, folks. And yeah, that was Raw. So a round of applause for Raw. Now, here, I'll give it a round of applause now. One thing we skipped over, George, do you want, I'm going to talk about the Carlito stuff. Do you got time? Are you hanging out? Or are you okay?
I'm
for sure. You. George is going to hang out here for a bit. All right. So let me get to super chats and then I'll talk about the Carlito stuff because I know I glossed over it. I wanted to circle back to it. So Shaggy Filth for $2 says Raw for 2 hours makes the show way more enjoyable. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I love it so much. I'm like, give me 3 again, you know, but it was a fun Raw. I can't lie. It was everything hit. Yeah, everything hit. And we're about to talk about NXT too. That was hitting as well. So thank you for that. Savage Wrestling Podcast says, hey, Phil, you got both me and Aaron from SWP in your show invading the chat. LOL for $5. Thank you so much. We're handing out bruvs tonight. And yeah, shout you out, shout Aaron out. I will come. We're gonna link up soon. Shoot me a DM, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. What up, PWT Ichi Nissan? Oh my god, I need that. I'm putting that on the soundboard. That is hilarious. Okay, chat, ready? Everyone at the same time. Ready, everyone? Ichi Nissan da. Oh my god, that is hilarious.
You gotta be like neckbeards and have the sound of the crickets in the background.
Oh yeah. With his edit. Thank you so much, Pete and Texas. The Rabid Wolverine LC Killer 17 for $2 says, "Damn you, Tony McCon." Free lucha, bro. The
best guys, Tony Khan.
Just the one. Yeah. So we have an update. Like Dave's got an update on Penta and like Ray Phoenix or whatever. Actually, it's not an update. That's what I quote tweeted. I was like, that's not an update. And so yeah, shout him out and shout you out. So going back to this. So during the show, Carlito, he made a joke where Damage Control go into the general manager's office, I believe, or yeah, because Carlito goes to try and convince Adam Pearce that Dominic Mysterio should get a shot at the World Heavyweight title next, or the Intercontinental title next, whichever. I forget. I think the World Heavyweight. And Carlito made a joke and said, or I don't even know, a joke. It was a joke, yeah. And said, because he's been checking out Damage Control lately, like Io Sky and Kairi Sane and WWE, especially NXT. They're doing a really good job of adding in the thirst cast and the romance and all of that sort of stuff. You know, they're getting people, you know, we're getting relationships, we're getting the hot goss and the drama and all the stuff we love, right? So Carlito says, as the two Damage Control, Kyrie and Io, leave the Adam Pearce's general manager's office, he's checking them out and he's like, damn, I got to learn Chinese or something. Right? Or he says, damn, I got to learn Chinese, or I think he said, or something. I can't remember it verbatim. We're going to talk about it more in depth. Actually, while we're on the topic, let's dive into the scariest place on earth sometimes, but also the funnest and loveliest place. It is Phil Marks bookmarks. So here we have Phil Marks bookmarks here. I'm going to take this off of the screen. Thank you very much for that. So let's find it. I know we have it somewhere. The Carlito stuff, right? Basically, it was reported. So Fightful reports on this. Carlito's controversial comment on Raw towards Io Sky and Kairi Sane has left those in WWE in disbelief, quote unquote. And they said a number of people within WWE were not happy with the segment and Carlito's line specifically, which was reportedly not part of the script. So he freestyled it. Okay, he's allowed to do that. It is unknown if any action was taken following the statement, but the line has been cut from WWE social media clips. Fair enough. They cut it from the clips. I mean, it was I guess the argument could be it's insensitive or whatever. My opinion on the joke, I didn't find it particularly funny. I thought I had more bookmarked on that. Maybe it's in the sickos. Yeah, it's probably sickos reacting to it. You guys know. My take is like this. He's infatuated with her. He's dumbfounded. He's an ignorant heel who spits apples in people's faces, dude. To me, and okay, so it was reported after as well that Kairi Sane and Io Sky were asked, and they said, no, we just thought he was being funny. Like, he's just making a joke. Exactly, guys, okay? I'm so sorry. He's making a joke. He's literally in love with these girls. And he, you know, or Io, I don't know if they're which one or both of them. You know, he's eyeing them both up. So it was just like a bad line. It was just tone deaf. That's all it was. Everyone's so sensitive. I tweeted out today too. I was like, man, y'all want the Attitude Era back so bad. Or maybe this was last night. I said, y'all want the Attitude Era back, but you guys want to get triggered over everything and cancel people over everything. I mean, it wasn't. You guys really think in your heart that Carlito is racialist and hates Japanese or Chinese or Asian people in general? Like, are you kidding me? He's from Puerto Rico, right? Or his, you know, that's his ethnicity, right? Is Puerto Rican, I believe, right? Someone could fact check me on that.
Yeah,
I'm sure I
he
could
is.
look it up. He's Puerto Rican. Do you guys think in his life he's been literally, not ironically for a TV show where he's playing a bad guy? In real life, people have probably thought he was Mexican and referred to him as such and things like that. You know, he understands. Trust me, guys. It's just a show. Okay. You know, when like Bryan Cranston kills a guy on Breaking Bad, he's not really a meth dealer who kills people. You know what I mean? He's not really the danger. You know what I mean? Bryan Cranston's a lovely gentleman. You know? So Carlito, I get it. I get why it might be tone deaf. It didn't like pop me like, whoa, but it was just a joke that I thought was, I don't know, man. It wasn't even like out of character. It's like, yeah, they're shitty heels. He hangs out with like the biggest group of shitbags it just makes sense. He'd be like, oh, what are they, Chinese or something? You know, like I don't know. So people get triggered by everything. How are we going to bring sexy back, George, if everyone's triggered by everything? Okay.
Hey, Phil.
You got to be able to take jokes.
Phil.
What's up, buddy?
Is Carlito playing a stupid heel role?
Is he playing a stupid heel? Not
Is
a
he
stupid.
Is he a heel? Basically, he's a heel, right?
He's a heel, dude. He's an ignorant,
bingo.
Just cocky.
There's the key word you said, ignorant.
Yeah, he's ignorant and he's dumbfounded by these girls that he knows nothing about, and he's like, "Whoa, who are they?" You know what I mean? Like the way he's like, "Damn, I never noticed them before. Holy shit!" You know?
Yeah.
He's just ignorant. He's just an ignorant heel. It boils down to that at the end of the day. That's my opinion on it. Apparently, Kyrie and Sky both said, listen, it was just a joke. He was being funny. So listen to them. They didn't get triggered by it. You shouldn't either. Joining me on the show now to give his 2 cents on this whole Carlito situation. Ladies and gentlemen, Awful Wrestling. Round of applause for Awful Wrestling. Where's my goddamn applause? Here we go. Awful, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Phil? What's happening, George? Can you guys hear me? Do I sound all right?
Fine, Awful.
You sound amazing, dude. You sound unimpressed with something.
Well, I want people to know, and I want people to realize that Carlito's grandfather fought in World War II.
Yeah.
So that's a joke. And where's the car crash, Phil? That one didn't fly.
Okay. I don't have the car crash here today. So, but what I will do is give you a dummy. And then
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
But anyway, yeah, listen, you were okay with your assessment of this whole Carlito thing. I don't even know why it's a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's obviously with workmates. They have no problem with it. And what can be said? You know, it was a flub. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Phil, you said that that Carlito was tone deaf because I was working in the shed and you said that. No, Carlito's not tone deaf. He's trying to be comedic.
Right.
The people who are upset with this whole thing are tone deaf.
Right. Maybe that's the better way to say it. Yeah, maybe for the times as well. Like, I'm just like, people are gonna get triggered by it, but that shouldn't make you scared to not say shit. You know what I mean? So you're right. You're right on that one. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I got. Yeah, I mean, crazy. Crazy. I was just listening and I thought to myself, like, okay, let me hop on this Carlito thing with an unfunny joke and then get serious for a second.
You're the master of that, I guess. Here, I got a few super chats, and then do we want to talk about NXT next, or we want to finish this we'll finish this hot WWE news because we got a lot of headlines. Dashing Per Pool said, can't wait to hear your thought on JD versus TK. I have that. I do have that in the bookmarks tonight. We will get to that. And Savage Wrestling Podcast for $5 says, we will definitely send you a link to a future SPW show. Yeah, do it. And I'll just pop on, man, whenever you guys have it going down. Appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for the super chat. And for $20, BITW Matt says, thank you to whomever gifted me a membership, by the way. Just found out Time Cop is free with ads on YouTube. I think we all know what Tony Khan does every Wednesday night. Keep up the great work roasting that hack Dave Meltzer.
Dummy, yeah.
Don't worry, I will never stop. And
you know what Tony Khan does on Tuesday nights? He argues with, can we curse?
Yeah, fuck, of course.
Yeah. He argues with podcasters online. I mean, that whole JDTK situation is absolutely ridiculous.
And it's funny that he goes after like the people that
writing television.
he goes after the people he feels like scorned by too. Like JD was putting him over for so long, and then he starts not putting him over, and then TK wants to argue with him. Whereas like someone like you're like, fuck this place right off the rip. TK ain't arguing with you. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny how I don't know. It's just
It's crazy,
funny. But
Phil. You had this podcast for how long?
like a year, creeping up on 2 years, like in the new year. So like a year and
Okay.
8 or 7 months.
I gotta ask, and I just hope that you're honest with me.
Yeah.
Has there ever been moments where you were like, I'm going to shill for AEW? Like I'm going to shill for this company that may or may not pay any attention to me
No,
at the end of the
never.
day. Okay.
No.
Hey,
Because that's what
Awful.
JD was like.
I
Yeah,
know.
good.
Awful. When I first started listening to Phil, he was always trying to put over AEW Dynamite.
Shilling, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's how he started. That's how I started listening to him. And I really took me a while to get into him because I'm like, I don't like this.
I know. I was trying so hard too because and then WWE just started firing on all cylinders, and then of course like my early co-host too, like he was just so anti AEW, and that was like our whole thing was I'm like the more AEW guy, but it just even when we started the show, even I was still heavily critical of it, and I was mostly putting over WWE in our reviews because I couldn't help to do it. I just call it like I goddamn see it. I don't know, whatever. I've kept the same energy. Go back to episode 1. I don't want Daniel Garcia pushed. Okay. I've never said, hey, we should push this guy. I've always said cruiserweight division. Anyway, sorry. Thank you for the super chat. I should get that off screen. But yeah, there's never been a thought, even like, okay, I got the WWE shop affiliate thing. That doesn't make me go, hey, if I shill WWE, maybe people will buy more WWE shop merch and I'll that doesn't enter my mind. I took a lot of heat when I criticized the NXT in St. Louis. I even criticized the new setup, the new NXT, and it's my favorite show. But the new setup, I like the yellow and shit better. I don't like the aesthetic of the it makes it a little more dark and like kind of mug, I want it to be more like vibrant and like a party, So hey, we're in the platinum era. I'm gonna shout it out. I put it. It's my favorite wrestling show is NXT. But like, yeah, I'm gonna say I like the aesthetic of fucking the old stuff better. I don't like the new so I'll still criticize whatever. But yeah, nothing's ever entered my brain to answer your question. And clearly,
if your boy Tony Khan
Mhm.
got one of your representatives, because you're a busy man, you're a man around town, and he was just like, we'd like to test you out for a new show called Rampage that we're that we're putting out there. How about it, buddy? Are you taking the gig, Phil? Are you taking the audition?
To write the wrestling show itself?
Anything. Ring boy. Anything.
Well, that's like
writer.
Tough, dude. If they were like, hey, we need you to make graphics or whatever, thumbnails for YouTube videos. Yeah, dude, I'll take a paying gig with pretty much whoever, as long as you're not like the leader of the KKK. We're cool. You know what I mean? Like I'll make your thumb. Or
I just finished the project with him last week.
Yeah.
He loves his shirts.
Yeah. So if they were like, come write this show, honest to God, if Tony Khan was like, Phil Marks, we want you to write Shockwave, I would say, could I maybe go to Ring of Honor first and just work out a while before I go up to like the big leagues, That was what I would do. I have no clue. I don't think so. I wouldn't even want to do it.
With the toys that he's got at his access.
I think I could book and write. I think I could write the stories better than he could. Yeah, for sure. And give you like more long-term, better characters, better development, those sorts of things. Yes. As far as like how we get there week to week matches and finishes and here's who should be featured. My best friends. I would never people smarter than me would deal with all that. I would just what I would do is I would say, this is what I think here. Da 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 da. Now you all tell me what's wrong with that or what's good with it. That's what that's how I.
So you'd be an intern.
Maybe, dude, when you write with people, so like I do, like I fucking have to collaborate with people.
Right.
I've done it so much in my life. You have to know when to lead and when to sit back. I'm never going to try and lead in the fucking pro wrestling world, bro. I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean?
I'm be like a sponge.
Yeah, like I'm a fan first and I know that. So I'd be a sponge, but I'm not saying I wouldn't try anything, bro. Like I'm not afraid to fucking fail. You know what I mean? But I would be able to admit if I
You'd
was
be a-
failing quickly, I'd go, yo, hold on, maybe I'm fucking up creative right now, I'd defer to someone better.
They'd look at your size, Phil, and get you in the ring.
Yeah, they'd be like, why aren't you in the ring?
Tagging with Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Anyway,
I'd do that.
back
No,
to your show.
No, that's a great question. I do like that because I've thought about that for sure. Now, if WWE, if they're like, oh, we need a writer, I'd probably do that. I'd be like, can I go like NXT level first? Like, I just wouldn't want to go to Raw or Shock. I wouldn't want my newbie, fresh 1 year in shit to be like, think about any artistic endeavor. Maybe you build shit. Anyone in the chat, I don't know, maybe you've like written something like your first time ever. You don't want that to just be blasted out there, like I'm going to get my rounds in first, my first boxing match. I don't want to just show up to the gym and get in a fucking fight. You want to get your rounds in. So I've fantasy booked 2 in my notepad and stuff, but that doesn't qualify you to, and money doesn't qualify you to fucking, you guys know the rest.
I think I would take the gig personally. But here's the one thing I know I could not do, and that's sign that NDA.
That's what I like.
Well, no way, bro. Nah. Well, I gotta tell somebody.
Because here's the way they rope people into these things, right? Not to say like, oh, they rope it in, but like, okay. Like I've worked on things where like just to apply for the job, I've had to sign an NDA and what it is. And that's just to cover like, so you don't leak creative stuff. So you're signing this NDA with all the shit lumped in to where it's like standard for you to just get the job. And within that NDA, it's like, and you can't ever talk about Tony Khan again,
Right.
So
I'm sure.
Then it's like you wouldn't get hired then awful, so you'd be like, I wouldn't sign that NDA. Sign NDAs in the entertainment business is like fucking, I don't know.
We're
rice
fantasy,
and a burrito. They're hand in hand.
We're fantasy mark hiring. That's what
we're fantasy mark hiring ourselves right now.
You what?
But yeah, we got okay. So before we read more WWE news, Dynamite has started. So let's check out our AEW.
It has?
Yes, it has started.
Big Bang Theory's over?
Big Bang Theory is over.
You hear that?
AIR Gold Duck's favorite show.
That was 262,000 remotes clicking off at the same time. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I certainly did.
Yeah, it was like a brown noise. You know what I mean? The sound heard around the world. Okay, so let's run through this card quickly. They open the show where everyone's standing in the parking lot with weapons, like all of the AEW jobbers, and they're waiting for like the Whitepool Neil Moxley clan.
That's intimidating.
Yeah. And then Hangman's gonna come out, who completely botched that shit last week, and then they did a bunch of like promo package stuff at the beginning. So they're
what channel's this shit on?
They're trying to be very WWE. Whatever channel this ship I'm on is riding down the canal.
Same. All right, here we are.
Yeah,
I found it.
Anyways, House of Black is in action tonight. Okay, haven't seen them in forever, other than Brody King. We have Kyle Fletcher. We'll hear from Kyle Fletcher. What a ratings grab, huh? Queen Aminata will take on Camille, finally, and they're going to go 50-50. Camille should just be squashing people.
Queen Aminata, what an ass.
She is phenomenal. She's a great worker, too. She's very underrated, and the fact Tony uses her like a jobber.
Yeah, she needs to get swooped up and be used with Obafemi, the African dynasty. How about that?
That's Nikita Lyons' job, though, bro.
Oh, please. Nobody wants to see that. Is she dating that man?
I don't know, but they are on NXT. We'll review it in a bit. They are hitting it off. That's for goddamn sure.
Okay. Lyons is looking a little sloppy. That's just me. That's just me.
Oh my god, awful.
A little sloppy.
So they're opening the show like instead of a long ass match, it's like a Shivani talking with Hangman Page here, and he's cutting a promo, and they hear what they're talking about. And anyways, though, quickly, we got Sammy Guevara taking on Benjamin. Why? Guevara, please don't hurt Benjamin, for the love of God. Then we have a trios match, the Perry Pack, we'll call them, Perry and the Bucks.
So Mercedes Moné is not on the show tonight?
No, she's not on the show.
Figures.
The same one as Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
What?
And that bitch won't be on Collision. That's for damn sure.
Yep. And then we got Garcia and Private Party taking on the Perry Packs. And then in the main event, we got the ROH World Championship ladder war, not a ladder match, ladder war. And it's crazy. The Ring of Honor World Champions all over the show. And so is their TV champion and their trios and tag champs. But Athena has been on a fucking milk carton for 2 years.
Ladder war.
A ladder
hilarious.
war.
Yeah.
Like not a ladder
Bouncing
match.
Bettys, cannons.
It's like so
Sherman tanks and ladders.
Do they pin to finish? What is it? Is it a last man standing but just ladders? Oh no, it's just a ladder match, and we're gonna call it a war because it's stupid. We got Colton Gunn being beat up by Hangman right now, and Switchblade Jay White's and Juice are making the run in.
Are they trying to make the guns right now?
I don't know, man. I thought the guns they were kind of leaving out of things, but only one of them's are here. One of them are here. The other one's missing, and I'm curious.
Hangman Adam Page with the most unflashy getup of all time.
It just doesn't. They should put him in the Bullet Club fucking gold and just have him say nothing. For real, because like just have him stand there and mean mug because like I could see it, but he used to be a Bullet Club guy, but he's just
I don't
God,
know. He's holding them back with a belt. Jay White and Juice Robinson.
Yeah, bro. He's like trying to swat a fly with his belt. Fucking. Thoughts on SRS reporting New Japan and AEW are going to force talent to sign agreements to not go to WWE after co-promoted events.
Stephanie Vaquer did a number on them, didn't they? Didn't she?
Is that what they're really saying?
Yes,
Oh
I can believe it.
You know what are my thoughts on that? That's fucking hilarious that they're doing that. Then I just wouldn't work on those shows because listen, if you're worth it, you're going to be seen. AEW will fold and just book you. If Tony's reaching to you, we want you on the New Japan card. Right. He values you so much. Trust me. He was
semi-main on the pre-show, and all of a sudden you think that, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
come on now. Even though you want to work for NJPW and AEW and all that, where are you at on the card? Are you making it worth it or not?
If they're calling up someone like Vaquer, we want you to fight Monet.
Right.
Hey, guess what? He will give that girl millions of dollars. Like, just say, no, I'm not signing that shit or I won't do your show. Tony will fold. He's a spineless jellyfish. That's what we'll call him. The worm has turned, as they say. But yeah, so the Bang Bang Gang back together, I guess, with Colton Gunn. Up next, we got Guevara and Benjamin. And if we do see Monet Awful, it will be a pre-taped backstage thing. Oh, wait a minute. Camille's on this card, and it shows Monet and her as her manager. So maybe she is here tonight.
You think they iron things out?
Maybe. We will see. We're going to keep our eyes on that and let you all know.
She's going to be on the Titantron or whatever they call this. The Jankytron.
Yeah, the Tonytron. It's actually called the Tony Khan. The Tonytron. Oh my God. The best guys, Tonytron. Holy shit. Okay, we had more WWE news to get to, which let's get to while we're watching this shitty fucking Guevara. So they're doing like promo packages and shit for all the wrestlers. They're going very WWE-ish. I give them points. You're doing it with the wrong guys. Or it's too little, too late.
Hold on, Phil. I hate to interrupt, and you know I hate to interrupt. And you know, listen, man, that is not a WWF invention to have promo packages. That shit was going on in AWA. It was going on in New Japan. It was going on all over.
Memphis,
now, it's just Mexico. That WWF made it better looking and more flashy and polished. That's all.
Right. Yeah, I just mean like the format of the show, I guess, and that the fact that I'm trolling. You know what I mean? I'm talking shit. Yeah, it's more pro wrestling. WWE is the sports-based pro wrestling, in my opinion, much more sports-based, and that's what AEW claims to be. So We're just joking. And
Hey, Phil?
yeah.
Can I ask your opinion on something?
Yeah, let's go. Let's hear it.
I'd like to know, as a casual viewer, would you rather see Jay White get pushed or Juice Robinson?
Oh, goddamn. I love them both a lot. That's a great question.
I think I'm with Awful on this one.
Who'd you say?
So easy. Juice Robinson, easy.
Bingo.
Yeah, so I like
Man
Juice.
exudes personality, and you heard it here first. There are some talent in the AEW that's good.
I was gonna say I like Juice more, and like he hasn't had his real big push, whereas like Jay White had a long run in Japan there, where I kind of watched him do top guy shit already. You know, I'm kind of like Juice. I would like to see, but it's just a great question. I don't know. Who would I rather see? I guess I agree with you both, and I'd say Juice. But if you had to pick one, though, I think Jay White people look at as more like a marketable guy. Do you know what I mean? Like
No,
Juice
I
is kind of
don't.
crazy.
Juice,
You don't?
Juice
Okay.
Juice looks marketable. I can
To
see
me,
him
Jay's like a
on the
Randy
side of a
Orton.
truck.
Yeah. I was just saying.
Juice has the size.
Yeah.
He's got the personality.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a cool looking face and hair. He just looks like a.
He's the archetypal pro wrestler.
See,
And
that's
if
what
he
I think Jay is. I think Jay's more like a Randy
Huh?
Orton, like a. I think Jay is like, just look at his build and everything. Like, yeah, he might be one of those Bullet Club guys, but he doesn't. He's just a all around, like, really great at everything. Juice is really good at everything too, though. So, but I'm
Dude.
just saying, like, to me, I think
Juice
that
could be the new coming of Randy Savage.
I
if
think
he
that.
played his
Oh,
cards
that's a
right.
great comparison. Yeah, that's a
I
great.
know it is because I said it.
Yeah,
No, I'm joking.
yeah. See, to me, Jay is like he's just like a prototype of he can sell, he can work a big guy, a small guy, he can work the fast pace, the slow pace, you know, all the
Can
terms.
you put him
everyone
on
uses.
the Today Show?
Yeah.
Can you put him on Jimmy Kimmel or
In
Jimmy
fucking
Fallon?
Australia or whatever? Yes.
In Australia,
New
but
Zealand
Juice
or whatever.
Robinson has that look.
You're right,
He's
all
got
over.
the it factor. I'm so sorry, Ed.
Yeah, no,
It's
you're
Juice
right, you're
Robinson. He's mogging Jay White now. So I mean, that's
And he had a great. Here's the thing with Juice too. He had a tremendous babyface run, like in New Japan, like with his kind of older gimmick, and then his more modern gimmick is so good, man. And he's just so crazy and off the handle. You know, he just flies off the handle, and he can play heel and he can do babyface. So yeah, he's really great, man. And shout out, dude. He's
Jake
dating
said,
Tony Storm. So there you go.
Alt Jake, shout out Alt Jake, but he said that Juice Robinson should be the leader. No. They're playing their cards right with this one. Let Jay be the straight guy. Let goddamn Juice Robinson be the tornado in the background, always spinning, the Tasmanian devil-like character or whatever. It works because if Juice Robinson's a leader, he's gonna glom all over Jay White, and then Jay White will have nothing to talk about, nothing to, you know what I mean? Like, he'll just be there. What's he, an enforcer now to this wild animal? Like, yeah.
I love both those guys though, and I would love to see a feud between them eventually too, like Juice versus Jay. That'd be fucking awesome. Because I love Jay White, man. I don't know, like I think
You know
he's
who they
all
could
around.
be? Phil? They
one
could
of
be like a Heart Foundation type. Those two, a wild, you know, person like Jim Anvil Neidhart. Well, he's you know, I take it all back. That was a flop.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, forget it.
Okay, so guys, Samantha Irvin has announced that her time with WWE has come to an end. She was, of course, replaced with Lillian Garcia, who botched a couple times there, but she's all good. She's just first time back. And yeah, Lillian Garcia announced for her on Raw, which I didn't mention earlier either because I wanted to bring this up. But Samantha Irvin, she announced her time with WWE has come to an end. So moving along here, she made a statement. She goes, WWE Universe, my time has come to an end as your Monday Night Raw ring announcer. I love you all tremendously, and this does not mark the end of my art. I have a lifetime more to share. Thank you to every WWE fan who accepted me. The women's locker room, you are the most incredible group of people on the face of this earth. I am beyond proud to be your colleague and friend. To the crew and cameramen, I can't thank you enough for the encouragement, the laughs. You created such a wonderful, positive atmosphere for me. Love you all. And I don't know. She's like, to the superstars, thank you for risking your bodies, raising the bar. Not any entertainer can be a WWE superstar. So true. Thank you for making it so easy to pour emotion and excitement, etc. And she shouts everyone out. Shout out Samantha Irvin. I will miss her. Lillian wasn't hitting as good as her for me. I'm not like
it's her first night back, man.
I'm not like devastated. Like, ring announcers come and go. It is what it is, man. It's crazy to think she was only in WWE for 3 years, man. The impact she sort of made, to where like all the greatest ring announcers, Michael Buffer, Bruce Buffer, they all put her over for how tremendous she is, and I don't know. I'm gonna miss her.
She's a good-looking girl.
That's another thing too. Besides the pipes.
Let's not discount that. I mean, and they're just looking for a positive soundbite. What do you think, Bruce Buffer or his brother's going to be like? She's the shits. You know what I mean? Like, no, you're not going to do anything like that.
And some people are saying she was the best of all time. I see in chat and stuff like that. A lot of people have said that online. To me, I'm like a Howard Finkel guy, But if you want to say all sports, to me, Bruce Buffer is like the GOAT. But Michael Buffer's really good too, but like to me for WWE, it's Howard Finkel all day. What about you, Awful?
Listen, you already know when a man's voice can boom throughout the stadium or throughout the arena, and it gives every match a certain gravitas. And another thing, he wasn't in the way. If that makes any sense. He wasn't a focal point of any sort of match. This whole idea, like the refs now should be focal points, not necessarily, you know what I mean, but like now we're going to take a look at the ring announcer. Come on, man. Anybody, George, you could do the job. Phil, you could do the job of what Samantha Irving does. All you got to do is do some voice exercises. She didn't burn down any, she didn't, you know what I mean? Like she didn't break any new molds or anything like that. She was a woman.
I don't know. Some people would disagree though, because she was doing the Chelsea Green and all that sort of shit.
Great. And then Chelsea Green herself had to perform. Okay. So let's not give Samantha any credit for having Chelsea Green go on this rise that she's going on. Great.
I think she was amazing, dude. I don't know, but
George, only the nerds found that out, by the way.
George, who's your favorite? Justin Roberts?
No, I'm a Howard Finkel dude. Justin Roberts.
Yeah, I'm teasing, bro.
My
Dasha or whatever.
Phillips. I'm joking.
Oh my god. Okay, so there's some more to add to this. Lillian Garcia is returning as a full-time ring announcer. Some people are saying it's extended, it's part-time. Some people are saying that Samantha may come back and make sporadic appearances, like here or there. She might just pop in and do like a pay-per-view or something. That could be cool. I'd be down with that. The crowd would pop because there's more to it. So Samantha Irvin told WWE on Monday she was quitting, according to PW Insider, and they got called out and they added context here. They got fucking like community noted. Samantha confirmed this was not true, and she informed them months ago. She got fucking flat earthed here. You know what I mean? So she confirmed this wasn't true. She informed them months ago, I guess. So obviously they knew Ricochet wasn't re-signing either. A WWE source made it clear they are on good terms with Samantha and would not rule out her making cameo appearances down the line if it served both sides. Makes sense. And apparently she's not going to AEW. A lot of people are like, damn, she's going to AEW, whatever. And she has assured everybody, I'm not going to AEW. I'm just going to make music. Ricochet said it as well. I might have it in AEW news, actually, because it was scattered everywhere. So here, I'll actually keep Awful up there on the right-hand side as I find it, because I do believe I have. So Ricochet said this. A lot of people got mad at me because apparently this is fake. Sorry, didn't know I was allowed to laugh at memes anymore. But so I just saw this and thought it was funny. So Ricochet tweeted this out. I guess it's a fake tweet, but it's haha, she's not coming to AEW. There's no way it'd work with literally no bodies on an entire side of the arena. The echo would be too massive to cover up. You can all rest easy, laughing face. Ricochet obviously didn't say that, but I thought that was funny when I saw it. But here, he did respond and say, haha, she's not coming to AEW. You can all rest easy. And then someone added all that other stuff. So he did say this. He's laughing off the notion, arguing with Marks on X still. No, I'm just joking, but he has been going off on them. And he is responding to them saying, hey, Samantha's not going to go to AEW. I don't buy that Tony won't make a play for her, though. Awful. What do you think? Do you think she goes to? I mean, he's going to give her astronomical money.
Yesterday on the podcast, when we talk wrestling, I said this as an advice piece for Tony Khan. Don't hire Samantha Irving.
Mm-hmm.
All you will be doing is making sure that WWF is the premier place to be.
Yep.
If you bring in Samantha Irving, not only that, you're taking away from your boy Ricochet, who you done paid all this money to.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, so don't do it. She just got off WWE television. So don't even put her on camera. How about that, Tony? But I know you will. I know you'll do it in the next 4 to 6 months. I know you will.
Yeah, he's going to make a play. He's going to probably give her a bunch of money. I wouldn't be mad at it, man. Like, I don't get mad at anyone who goes there and marks a money mark in for money. Like, I doesn't. I don't
value your business in 3 easy steps. Number 1,
Exactly.
hire Samantha Irvin. Number 2, glamour over her boyfriend. Or are they married, by the way? I don't want to disrespect.
They're about to be married like in a few months.
Okay.
But apparently she made a statement that she's going to go pursue like music, maybe acting, like other things like that. But
yeah.
Tony will be
Other
like,
rappers.
Tony will be like, you can do all of that anyways, you know? So it doesn't really matter. And the music industry is so dirty.
I got my own studio.
Yeah. And the music industry is so scummy and dirty. You guys, 233 of you watching, 93 likes.
Yeah.
You sickos. What? Run those up to at least 100. Or no more hot news. But yeah, dude, it would be an epic fail. And speaking of an epic fail, it took Shelton Benjamin about, what was that, chat, 10, 15 minutes to put Sammy Guevara away?
Was it a commercial break?
I don't even know, but it was mind-numbing.
Yep,
and
picture in picture. Yes, it was.
He beat him with a fucking, what did he beat him with here? A catching super kick. And then, yeah, went picture in picture, I believe. Guevara takes Benjamin to the limit. And he was taken to the limit now by Guevara, pretty much. And who was his last week opponent? Leo Rush.
Yeah. So he's facing all the vanilla midgets and chocolate midgets.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Yeah.
The chocolate midget. Oh my god. Dude.
Whatever you want to call. I mean,
yeah. So speaking of failing, man, like tonight you posted it. Shout out Awful Wrestling came through with the post. I think WrestleTix might have blocked me because they don't be coming up on my feed ever, but anymore. Tickets distributed 1,762. Current setup 362. And let's look. The last time they were there was a collision that did 2,200 people, bro. The collision outdrew this shit.
I want to hold on.
Yep.
Can I stop you right there, Phil?
Yep.
I want to make mention that particular photo was not updated. I don't believe WrestleTix updated their site to reflect the new number, but I do know it's under 3,000.
Yeah. So the Maverick Center, originally known as the E Center, a 12,600 seat, multi-purpose indoor arena. Oh my
the math,
God,
people, that's 30%.
Like, when are they going to understand this just doesn't work for people, dude? Like, we don't want to go to empty building. Like, let's say I'm a diehard AEW fan. I don't want to go to an empty building and get overcharged on beers and shit. Here's the thing, man. Go to a smaller venue, and they're not going to even charge you as much for, like, the convenience. Tony Khan's talking about all the convenience. So he can pull up. He can land his plane where they have, like, oh, yeah, like whoever Jay-Z has done a concert here, he landed his plane here or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just all convenient for him, like a kid on a Sweet 16 every weekend. It's just silly, man. And
Hey,
yeah,
Phil?
it's indefensible. What's up?
I got a great idea. Just
What?
came to me now. Why doesn't AEW go to smaller venues, like about 2,500 to 3,000.
It's this
cater
new,
to that crowd.
Wait. I got this. I hold on. I got a new brilliant actually idea. I learned it actually, when if you study when I watched Batman. Dude, that was the funniest shit ever, George. That was amazing. What a callback. Great shit. We got Tony Schiavone in the ring right now,
Again?
calling out Fletcher, who's dressed like Will Ospreay, dressed like Orange Cassidy. If that
Did you
makes
catch
sense.
the graphic they just showed before they went to this?
I didn't.
Next week they have Sheldon Benjamin taking on Swerve Strickland.
Oh yeah, at the Halloween thing. And check this
Yeah.
out. This is the stat above Kyle Fletcher's name. Recently beat Atlantis Jr. on Collision.
God.
That's his stat. That's his notable entry stat, dude. That is fucking hilarious. You ain't hype for $2, says Shelton already got shitted on his first 2 matches. Exactly, dude. Yeah, he did. I mean, you can't be taken to the limit by fucking Guevara too. And here's the other thing: if we don't see Monet till way later, they could have just like got Guevara the fuck out of the building before she got there as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
Yeah, so we can't like discount that whatsoever. We're keeping an eye on
I'll
that.
pay for
shit.
your Uber.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we'll shoot you away. I'll get you a limo. We'll put you in a 4-star hotel. It'll be great. So, yeah, speaking of, I guess we're in AEW news. We were talking about Samantha Irvin. So Bobby Lashley hints it's almost time for business. And he says, I have a lot more left in the tank. I can't wait to jump back out there. I had a little boo-boo, so I took time to fix myself. I'm feeling good right now. I've been working out hard. I think the next few weeks we should see something pop off. It's time to put pen to paper and give back to these fans. Bobby Lashley. And yeah,
Philip.
Yep.
Isn't Shelton Benjamin, Jesus Christ, all these black guys look alike. Isn't Bobby Lashley injury prone?
I don't know if he's injury prone, but he's like 50, bro. So yeah, let's just say, yeah, he is. Cause he recently, I think, was a little hurt, and that's why they stuck him with Street Profits to begin with.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. And they're going to sign him, probably give him Vince money. Yeah. Tony's going to just back the Brinks truck up. It's going to be these guys. Hurt Business is going to take out the Neo Moxley clan, and it's just shitting all over AEW. It's what Awful said before. It's just going to show you, the superior place of the WWE is WWE, or WWF as you call it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, because all these WWE guys are going to come in, and I'll say this too, guys. Cedric Alexander, he's been kind of on and off with NXT. Could you see him asking for a release, trying to jump over to AEW, or do you think he's like, why the
Let
fuck?
him go. Let him go.
If
They
he
can
wants to,
they can
right?
have the whole faction back over there, and it won't mean a damn thing. So,
Awful. What do you make of MVPs going around giving his card to all the Monet, to all the black talent?
boy, was I wrong. I thought they couldn't use the term MVP, and I turned out to be 100% eating crow. But listen, as you can see, people are not interested in this storyline as much as we think that they are. And as you can see, the viewership bears that. And so that's why I say you can bring in Bobby Lashley, you can bring in MVP, you can bring in Shelton Benjamin.
But
hell, you can. Well, maybe you know what? That big bull Amos might be able to make some sort of difference. At least he'll be a presence on television. But other than that, it's all about the writing. The talent can be in the ring doing whatever they want.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
they compelling? Are they interesting? And if WWE can't do it, we already talked about this, Phil, too. Like, we know in one of them offices, they have metrics, and they say this about Bobby Lashley, like, merch not doing too hot. When he shows up on television, viewership goes down. Might be time to let him go.
Yeah.
They've got that sort of department. R&D, maybe. I don't know. It's been a while since I did an office job, but whatever department it is, yeah, that's what's going on, and that's why they're letting these people go. I'll tell you what, when Edge went to AEW, I thought it was going to make a difference. But then I had to take a second thought. And I was like, wait a second. Why would they just allow Edge to go on top at that? Oh, because no matter, if he wants to win his last match or not, he's not pulling him in. It may appear because he's a part of a larger circus, but he's not bringing them in individually. He's probably tuning people out, and they're like, all right, sayonara. Or is that racist? I don't know.
Ask Carlito. I don't know. I'm just joking. So yeah, Kyle Fletcher's cutting a pretty fiery promo. He's not bad at it. I won't lie. It's just he reminds me too much of Ospreay when he's in the ring. They wear the same gear. They got the same hair color. I don't know. Dye your hair blue or something, bro.
Thank you, Alt Jake. Risk assessment or management.
So Jonesy84 has been a member for 4 months. Says, I know we're on AEW, but did you already cover that banger of a diss track All Ego released? I actually like it. Might be become my guilty pleasure. Oh, we're playing it here. We play all the musics on PWT. So yes, we will absolutely listen to that. Don Callis has a stable full of Timu wrestlers. Yeah, they're all like knockoff versions of other wrestlers. Oh my god, dude, that's pretty funny. Andre Adams says Kyle Fletcher sounds like he got a mouthful of butter.
It's great. Kyle Fletcher looks like Billy Gunn.
He kind of does.
A young
like
Billy
a modern
Gunn.
Billy. Do you think? Yeah, he kind of does, like a really young Billy Gunn.
Not nearly as interesting.
No, not nearly, but he does have size and shit. Like I get what they see in him, and he can talk clearly. He can work good too, but he's just got to like chill out.
Why didn't he cut this promo last week?
Because they were like trying to milk it. He's not talking yet. Oh my god! And I'm glad that they're like building around their own homegrown dudes. You know what I mean? But his tag partner, because of their old style, got hurt so bad. Like he's just been gone for I think like a year or two.
Right.
He's just out because of the style him and Ospreay and them do. So luckily, hopefully Fletcher realizes he doesn't have to Sammy Guevara himself to get over.
Right.
Thank you
It's
for the
so
super
sad.
chats. I'm here to help anytime. Awful. Yeah. Sir, may I have some more? The rockabilly. Yeah, you should do a rockabilly gimmick. Join Hangman. So we got more hot news here. Adam Cole needed a cadaver bone replaced in his foot after his was disintegrated. Oh shit! At AEW Grand Slam. I don't mean to laugh, but that's crazy. And then other news comes out that Adam Cole has confirmed he and Britt Baker are no longer a couple, but they're still great friends, and he urges fans not to pick
Isn't that
sides.
always the line? We're still great friends. We go to McDonald's every Tuesday.
Yeah, he goes, we are no longer a couple, but when I say that we both still love each other and are still friends and still so supportive of each other, that could not be more true. I think the world of Britt. I want her to be as happy and successful as humanly possible, and I know she feels the exact same way about me. We did decide to go our separate ways, but that doesn't mean that she will not be an incredibly important part of my life. Britt is absolutely one of my best friends. She's someone that I love dearly and will always love dearly, and there's no ill will between me and her whatsoever. I don't want anyone to ever think that me and Britt dislike each other. I think it is possible in situations for people who are in relationships to kind of go their separate ways but still care about one another. The last thing I would want is fans to pick sides or anything like that. He's told that to Sports Illustrated. Yeah, people are going to pick sides, but also will they? How many people? Whoever are watching Dynamite tonight, they might
imagine you're Adam Cole and you got to explain this to your next future wife.
Yo, hold on now.
This statement.
Yo, Fletcher looked in the camera after this fiery promo, took a head razor and said, Ospreay, I am not like you. And now he's shaving his blonde ass hair. And I was just saying, change your hair or something. So hopefully he shaves his head. Not that we need more skinheads running around AEW, but still don't miss. Phil called it. He's got to separate from his like Ospreay cosplay that he does. Ospreay cosplay. But yeah, anyways, good move there. He just shaved his head. I'm happy about
Keep
that.
it just like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't go
maybe
any
he can
further.
rip his clothes up like the Brooklyn Brawler too.
Right.
It'll be
He cut it like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. He does. He looks good. Now you look more like Hulk Hogan instead of Billy Gunn. He can do the fucking Thunder Lips gimmick from fucking Rocky
Uh,
when he like started losing his hair. It was
it
like,
looked like when he looked into the camera, he looked like Sid Vicious.
But yeah, whose side are you on? Team Britt or Team Adam Cole, baby? They even won. Remember when they won their Owen Hart titles together that year, and then they just split up. What do y'all think about that? Awful.
I'm on Team Pinch a Titty. I mean, either one of these people, I don't care about their relationship. I mean, so the grand opening, grand closing. See you later. We got to go because you know why? There's bigger men in the locker room, and I like them. You know what I mean? That's what she was thinking. And so now, you know, hey, you can't be a small fish. Can't be a small fish in a small pond.
Man.
When you got Will Hobbs there or Brian Cage.
Do you know who
you know what
she's
I mean?
really tight with? Do you know who she's like for real tight with? Like is her
Who?
main gym buddy? Wardlow.
Wardlow? Oh,
For
yeah.
real. Could you imagine if she's
pressing that.
dating? Could you imagine if she's dating Wardlow after
Yeah.
Adam Cole, bro?
Fight
Oh
us.
my god.
Adam Cole would be jumping off a bridge.
Oh my god! In Minecraft, of course, we
You're
don't
like,
wish
it's
that.
over.
Oh my word, man! So speaking of over, Chris Jericho's AEW deal is apparently over in 2025. It's still expiring then. I think this is some sort of work. He leaked this out to a sheet or something to try and drum up interest in him. That's going to be my guess. I think
Right.
he's invested into AEW. I think he's bought in. I think there's people like Tony's dad, Jericho, probably the Bucks, probably WBD. Well, it's proved it's admitted now that WBD is bought in. Chris Jericho, no one's talking about that. I think he owns like a good chunk, like 5%, 3%, something like that. Anything in AEW. And I don't think he's going anywhere, but he might try and get like a WWE Hall of Fame induction down the line. I know that's just like the common cold take for everyone to say, but
He's gonna have to be out 2 years for that to happen. Like, don't even show up on WWE television. Just retire or hang it up or do
Right.
something else, and then on a towards WrestleMania, you can bring him in for some shit. I don't know.
But were people lying about his 10-year deal then? Because apparently, like, he signed a 10-year deal was the whole thing, and like,
I don't remember that. But if it's true, I mean, obviously they lied. I mean, $14.99, please.
yeah, or he's lying now, you know, or the
Yeah.
lie is happening now where he's just
Yeah.
trying to get interest, and he's like, "I'm the free agent god, baby,
Right.
the free agent, Chris Jericho," and he tries and works like a free agent
You
gimmick.
know what the problem with the IWCNN is that they don't want to press Chris Jericho for questions. Hey man, is it true that your contract is expiring in 2025?
And
You
like,
know you
doesn't
got-
he
They have
have
the
a
phone number.
Oh, sorry. But doesn't he have a website that breaks news too and shit? And then Cultaholics dropping the story first? Like he
I
didn't
don't
tell
know.
his own outlet or whatever. He has
Yeah.
writers who like write stories for his website. He wouldn't tell them that, or they didn't
I
break
just
the
hope out of
story.
spite WWE doesn't pick him up. How about that?
Well, if you
Like,
think
just don't
back,
do it.
like I wonder if him and Triple H ever had like real life heat. They work together a lot, so probably not, but who knows? Speaking of going back to WWE, I've told you guys a myriad times that Moxley was gonna go back to WWE. Tried. Here's an old shirt of his. I don't know how recent this is. We see his like balding with like his front little strands
Right,
there just hanging in
right.
front. But this is a shirt that says "Bitch AF Mox," and if this was a shirt before, I don't know. This is one of the cringest shirts I've ever seen. Maybe this is a throwback, but yeah, just another cringe AEW shirt. I can't believe it, and I just had to bring it to the show. Also, Sting reveals he signed a multi-year deal with AEW. Sorry, speaking of multi-year deals, Sting revealed right here that he is signed. He will return, I guarantee. Fucking
Didn't we know
show
that,
up on a
though?
pay-per-view or something. They can continue to sell Sting merch and he'll support AEW. He's always been that guy who's like, no, I'll just be with TNA. No, I'll just be with WCW or whatever. I guess WCW was competing at the time and stuff, but he's always the outsider, if you will, the true outsider. And I will say this, he's probably just getting paid in the shade He's a legend. Ride off in the sunset. Take Tony's money. I've said it a billion times. I'll say it again, though. I'm never going to get mad at Sting for doing something like this. However, it would be cool selfishly. Like, I want to see everyone go back to WWE with how hot they've been lately. But who knows, man? Let him do his thing. It's kind of cool that Sting's always just done his thing, and Tony can continue to make shitty merch. You know what I mean? Like, what is his merch deal with them? You know, no one... Sting is like an attraction. He sells merchandise. He can help sell video games and shit. He's the icon, dude. And you see his shirts being sold at like events where the people on the wrestling cards aren't even featured. They don't even have any merch. So I don't know what Tony's got worked out with Sting, but he'll just keep him on the payroll forever. Okay, sweet. Sting got his induction. I don't care if we ever see him in WWE again, to be honest. You know what I mean? But here's his little announcement.
I got to know what's next for Sting or Steve.
Well, you know, I signed a multi-year deal with AEW. Obviously, not to wrestle anymore, but you know, it's like a licensing deal. Legends.
You can just show up, paint your face, sit in the crowd, tell everyone you love us, and we're great.
Deal, if you want to call it that. So, and I'll do appearances with them on and off, depending on what they want and all. So, I've done real estate.
He's going to be the one going to the local channels and all that, you know, in the area, probably once every 2-3 weeks. They don't want to really stress the guy out, but yeah, I think that's what he's going to end up doing. Media rounds with him and possibly some, you know, one of their champions, take your pick, or, you know, one of their up and comings or whatever. So you got Sting on the left and Orange Cassidy on the right or whatever. And then they're going to be on KTLA or, you know, WPIX promoting Dynamite. Hopefully, I'm giving too much credit to Tony Khan and WBD, to be honest with you.
So currently
Phil,
what's up?
Ricochet just got the card of MVP there.
I know. So MVP, awful. How do you feel about that? I was asking you earlier. MVP's coming to AEW, and I guess you gave your feelings, but it's like he's only given his card to black people to try and get them into a It's the truth. And if Triple H was doing
that's
this,
where we're going.
They'd be no. I just want your thoughts because other people have given their thoughts. I just want your what do you make of that? Obviously, hypocrites in the IWC. No, like another thing they want to get triggered over that they don't really care about.
Listen, I mean, only people who, you know, what's the old saying? Only dogs that bark are the ones that get hit.
Yeah.
And there's nothing really harmful about what's going on as far as the whole thing. Like, I hope, this is my hope, is that they'll be able to do something with this.
Right.
Once this faction is formed. What sort of story are you going to tell? Are you guys going to face the Neo Moxleys at some point? Is this what it's all building up to, or is it not? My thinking, you already know, I think it's going to fail miserably because Tony has told us explicitly he books week to week. There is no long-term storytelling. This is what it's going to be from here till the end of days, unless, you know, the numbers go down to 400,000, 300,000, and he's forced to do some sort of change.
So we just had Lance Archer in the ring team up with Brian Cage, and they squashed the knockoff Viking Raiders and or War Raiders, whatever you want to call them now. And Lance Archer last week, you know, he came out and people were calling him Timu Drew McIntyre, Timu McIntyre, because his hair and everything. And then this week he comes out and his hair's all braided again.
That is like so gee. Like, you should not be able to fold under the pressure like that. Do what you're doing. He folded under pressure.
I was just gonna say, clearly it got to him or whatever, or because like what, he just couldn't find someone to braid his hair quick. That
he got his Jamaican girlfriend to do it. I don't know.
Nikita Lyons did it.
Oh yeah, she's dating everybody apparently.
So I wish, yeah. So Tony Schiavone comments on tribalism and negativity towards AEW and specifically the Young Bucks. That's fans who are number one idiots. Okay, so I quote tweet this and I instantly go, dude, you never just start calling fans of shit idiots. Incredible. Disney learned this the hard way. Everybody learns this the hard way. All these shitty shows that come out, and then before they drop, we see the trailers and are like, yeah, this is going to be bad. And then before they drop, they're like, well, the fans, if you don't come see this, it's because you fucking are stupid and all this stuff.
Right.
it never works. It ultimately fails. This is the reason why the gatekeeping, this is what we're talking about. It's not that. It's what Meltzer did. Oh, you're just dumb if you don't like AEW. And then all these sickos go online and are like, yeah, the McDonald's slop is WWE. And meanwhile, their brains can't comprehend AEW. That's what literally these we chronicle it here. And it's the opposite, in fact. Like, you should only tolerate Shelton Benjamin, Guevara coming out of nowhere and taking him to the limit like that if you like McDonald's slop. That's not fucking like fine dining, bro. What was that? Like, we couldn't even focus on that. Everyone was just like, why is this match still going? The fuck? Like, aren't we getting Benjamin over? Have him beat this kid.
In 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know,
And
like,
then
give him a
cut
little
15-minute promo. I don't know what you do, but like, don't spend all afternoon wrestling Sammy Guevara.
So it's just, there's a lot of bots out there. Like, gee, Tony, you think, man, not only bots, do you think they're just trying to be contrarian and edgy? No, dude, it would be contrarian to hate on WWE because fucking everyone, like, do you know what I mean? Everyone loves WWE. Right. Everyone hates on AEW. It would be contrarian to start just hating on WWE out of nowhere. So, like, if you're referring to like the sickos, maybe sure. But he goes, that's the nature of what we've got in the business we're in. So let's move forward with that. I personally stay away from that stuff because I don't want it to affect my work at all. I don't.
How the hell? Then why are you making comment on it now?
Exactly, dude. Anyway. It's like, how would it affect your work if it? And like, I don't know, man. Anyways, you just said it.
Tony
I don't want the
Schiavone
few.
Is not a bright bulb.
He goes, I don't want the few, and believe me, compared to the actual world, it's the few. I don't. Yeah, the few showing up to your fucking show, and not only that, we have Chuck Taylor cutting a promo backstage right now in the parking lot with Orange Cassidy, and he's like in an AEW tee, and he's like part of the road crew now or something. Shout out Chuck Taylor, still getting a paycheck from Tony.
How is he still getting paid?
Let's go. But anyway, sorry, just to here, this is what Tony said. As far as my job is concerned, whatever. It is influencing you, buddy. It is what it is. You wouldn't even bring it up if it didn't bother you. We're noting this about Dynamite, and I see these super chats here. I'll get to them. Right now in Dynamite, the Ladder War, which there's tables set up everywhere, so it's just a TLC match, but they're going to call it Ladder War, is happening now. It's not the main event, and Monet and Camille and Aminata hasn't happened yet, and Guevara was the very first match. All I'm saying, they got his ass out of the building, and Monet's, you know what I mean? She's in her own. Dude, she has a bus. So she's probably like, I'm chilling in my bus until he's off the fucking premises. That's my theory. Right?
Jen Pepperman runs up into the bus. He's gone.
Yeah.
We come out now.
So the Ashen Chevalier
I'm getting the learning tree. Am I
Why is Jericho wearing yellow?
Yeah, no, it's the learning tree right now. Yeah, but it's the look around the ring, Awful. What do you see? It's a ladder war, but I see tables and shit.
I see it now.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So the Ashen Chevalier for $2 says, so it turns AEW is one giant Ponzi scheme, LOL. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? There will be, I'm telling you, I think there's going to be something that will blow in like the next year that will be like, are you kidding me? Like it'll be all under our noses and it'll have to do with AEW and scamming and, you know. I see it happening.
Yeah. The Ashen Chevalier for $5 says, I wonder if Sting recommended his hair plug doctor to MJF. Oh, no.
What is he wearing? He looks like a banana.
Oh, my God. Chevalier Ashen. That is a fucking... You guys with the roast tonight. That is hilarious. And I don't know, he probably did MJF Kaneki. Yeah, we're racing at Thunder Road, Orange Cassidy. Okay, so a spear. We got ladders flying around. I think I'm like a minute ahead of you fools.
Yeah. Arr, me matey.
Yeah,
my ship's running slow.
Oh my gosh! And they got
Guess
these
who the referee is.
Sorry, what's that, George?
Guess who the referee is?
Oh, well, you know who it is.
Yes.
Dude. I look and see it's Aubrey.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's Aubrey Edwards reffing this table war. Oh, dude, It's a table war as much as it's a ladder war thus far. And let me tell you this, dude, these flimsy ass ladders in AEW scare me. Okay. Ashton Chevalier for $5 again says Shivani is like Igor for Khan. And whenever I see him talk is like, yes, Master Tony. Yes, Master Tony. Oh my goodness, Igor. That's so funny. Yeah, Shivani is these guys are just pushing back because they're just trying to encourage Tony to keep this thing afloat, because then they can just pay for their families' lives forever, and you can't get mad at them for that. And they see the guys like, dude, I'm never gonna sit here and hate on Mark Briscoe or whatever, you know. He's a great, I love him, you know. So
it's the age-old MO of professional wrestling.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
It's just Carney's Carneying, bro.
Yeah.
Workers
working from the top to the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna like be like fuck all the wrestlers entirely, you know. It's like, no, I love them too. I don't want them to not have jobs, but I'm not gonna like also lie and say, oh, it's good for all of wrestling that Tony Khan's pricing when TNA's actually trying and they're actually getting hot, and you've priced everyone out of going there, Tony McCon. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and go, yeah, it's great if Tony monopolizes like WWE was doing and tries to buy up all these companies. And now all of a sudden he's got New Japan talent, aren't allowed to sign deals with WWE after they work for him. But if the shoe were on the other foot, Tony would scoop someone up immediately. If they brought someone in from New Japan, like let's say Delta, who just debuted, who we'll talk about, let's say she showed up in a one-off for WWE, and then Tony could scoop her the next day, he would do it in a heartbeat. It's just Carney's Carney, and he's a Carney like the rest of them. So, yeah, I don't know. Shout out Tony McCon, I guess. We got WWE news, though. The New York Post posted this and said WWE needs to look in the mirror after AEW star-studded free agency. This was in March 19th. And they got Ospreay, Okada, and Monet, who, again, I don't want to hate on the boys, but they ain't done shit. And then this free agency run, look at what Ethan Page has accomplished. Look at what the Tongans and Jacob Fatu has accomplished. Stephanie Vaquer gets bigger pops than fucking Julia in the NXT Impact Zone because TNA's crossing over with them. You got the Machine Guns, who are really, you know, Nick Aldis said it, you guys have been brought into WWE to help like spark new life into this tag division. This Delta lady, I'm not overly familiar, Zarya or whatever her name is. She, I mean, look at her right there. That picture says 1,000 words. I mean, she looks like a star. Her versus Rhea Ripley one day. Very character.
I didn't catch her height. Is she tall or something?
Let me look it up. I will look it up. Delta.
And while you're at it, Bill, who wrote that New York Post article? I'm
actually not sure. She's 5'8". So
okay, all right.
Yeah,
I guess.
And she's thick, man. 165 pounds, dude. You know, so she's ready to go. Look at her arms, man. They look nice in these pictures. Yeah.
All right.
Have to pack a lunch, bro. And so, yeah, I just think WWE swept, man. Clean sweep.
Yeah,
I mean, free agents.
And you had mentioned earlier about how Stephanie Vaquer is a lot more popular than Julia. And there's a stark reason why. If you zoom in on that picture, one person looks original, the other person looks like a carbon copy of Asuka. So
now, I do agree with you in some regard.
The goat horns, that sets her apart from everybody on the roster.
And like, dude, when she comes to the ring, she doesn't do shit. She just walks in and puts a one up, but not like Roman Reigns. She just like puts a one up.
Right.
That's all she does. And it's just very unique. And you are right. And even they had the Kabuki Warriors square off sort of like backstage on NXT. They had a moment where Vaquer and Julia like cross paths and they eyed each other up. And I'm like looking at them going, yeah, Julia would fit right into that faction tomorrow. And I do think she has something about her that sets her apart, like sort of the faces she makes and stuff. It sort of does. She has this unique like Nakamura thing to where he's sort of set apart from the other Japanese wrestlers, in my opinion, too. Like a lot of them, if you look at like Takahashi and then you look at like Naito or you look at some, it's hard for them to stand out. You have to really like do outrageous shit with your hair and stuff like that. You know, I agree with you. She looks like oh, we've seen Kyrie, and I'm not pulling like a Jim Cornette. Oh, they're all Japanese schoolgirls, but you're right.
The fur coat,
the fur,
pinkish
the
hair.
fucking the makeup, the pinkish hair, the whole like manner is the moving around methodically and that aura. Whereas you're right, Vacker comes out.
It's your hamper come to life.
Yeah, and Vacker comes out, and not only that, she's tremendous in the ring. She has a great frame for her short 5-foot body, and not only that, she can pick these girls up. And she doesn't feel undersized when she's wrestling people taller than her. She's always in the right spot. She knows how to grab a hold. She knows how to just do a fucking roll up. She knows how to work the crowd. She sells her ass off. It's been her dream her whole life to be in WWE. And then you have this Zarya girl show up at the end of the show. 3 huge women coming in to inject huge new life into this already crazy NXT women's roster. I'm sitting here like they got to call a batch of these girls up. No, I also been saying that SmackDown and NXT are going to swap talent like all the time while Raw sort of stays its own thing. And I think we are seeing more and more of that. To back that theory up, Cody Rhodes believes NXT isn't a developmental brand anymore. He says, particularly with Matt Bloom and Michaels as a talent and current main roster, NXT can be kind of intimidating. It's not really a developmental anymore. It's almost a grooming ground. Oh, so a developmental for these monsters who are going to come up and stand across the ring from you when they've been trained by Shawn Michaels. We're definitely preparing the next generation of superstars, etc. And I think we're going to see SmackDown and NXT cross over more. And I love NXT. It's my favorite wrestling show. But dude, there's so many women, period, who can't get camera time, let alone the dudes on that show too. An all women's WWE show on Wednesdays or what, boys? What do you think about that, Awful?
Cody Rhodes is wrong, by the way. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah.
You're going to start off by saying it's a developmental brand or not a developmental brand. It absolutely is a developmental brand. I mean, come on, Cody. Get with the times, my man. I mean, don't read every word on the memo. You got to ad lib. And if something looks stupid on the paper, you got to be like, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Yeah.
But,
you got to be like, oh, I need to learn Chinese. No.
Yeah, exactly.
But he literally calls it a grooming ground.
Yeah,
so
even worse. It's so much worse than a developmental ground. Like, come on in here to this white ground.
This is the grooming ground. That's when the plane is touched down.
That's a lollipop.
Yeah, dude. And so to me, when it's like grooming ground, though, it's like, oh, so it's a developmental. Oh, a grooming ground, sort of like a
the American Nightmare for kids.
Center, yeah. No Diddy, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Jesus.
right.
The fuck, a grooming ground. That sounds like a room in Diddy's house, you know? Yeah. Jesus Christ. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that sort of backs up what I've been saying. But yeah, Awful. What do you think of the prospect of an all-women show for WWE? Put it on Wednesday nights and just
don't do it.
Why?
Don't do it.
Because then it buries. Because if they don't beat Dynamite, it buries their women, right?
Say again.
Because if they don't beat Dynamite, and let's say they put like Charlotte Flair on that bitch, it just buries the women superstars, right? Is that what?
Great point.
Yeah,
that's a great point that I didn't even think of. But no, you don't want to isolate. You don't want to divide your fan base. And by having a women's only, you're going to be struggling just like the WNBA was struggling for a long time until they had a big star or 2 big stars apparently. But you can't. No, I wouldn't risk it. Keep it as is. Grow what you've got going on. It's working. They obviously got 702,000 people last night. And that was up from last week. So, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't try to create a new show. Maybe not a lot of people. Excuse me. I got a question. Is Nikita Lyons tracking? Is Jada Parker tracking? Are they bumping the viewership when they come on screen? And do you really want a whole hour of that every week? Because it's going to be an hour. Because if it's 2 hours, it's overkill.
Well, speaking of viewership, Awful, Brad Becker tweets this out. Shout out Brad Becker, probably in the chat. WWE NXT, 720,000 viewers. So it got a nice bump from last week.
I thought it was 702,000. Seems this number seems to be in great dispute.
Okay.
I saw Julian Weeks had posted 720,000, but I also saw WrestleNomics. They posted 702,000. Did they make some sort of correction?
somebody made a typo somewhere, but either way, it's a big spike from the
Yeah,
last
really.
week where Meltzer was like, see, I told you it would settle in, and I'm a genius, and you're all the best guys, Tony Khan. David Carradine's Closet says, Shivani is hilarious considering TK books for the sickos, including the pro AEW bots, and that definitely affects his work. Absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. We pretty much covered it. Thank you for the $5. Jesus Christ, the most savage name in this chat. I thought Moose Knuckle was bad, but jeepers. But yeah, either way,
I'm making snide comments.
Is he?
He's saying that I am. You're not offended, are you, Phil?
No.
Okay. How about that, Moose Knuckle?
Yeah, this guy's saying Awful is so busy trying to throw out a snide comment that he ignores the obvious. What does that? I don't know what that means. Bro, when people say that NXT, yeah, I don't know. What is he referring to?
I don't know. Who knows?
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for one of them to actually land. Jesus, man. Jesus Christ. Just drumming up the chat there, bro. But yeah, either way.
One of my jokes. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, though, so yeah, either 720 or 702 doesn't matter. The show banged. Ethan Page, we were talking about him earlier. He put on a fucking fiery promo, probably his best one. It went a little long though, where he was kind of going on about like, when you bleed, have you ever bled and tasted your blood and put it on, did blah blah blah. So that went a little long, but otherwise he did really well. And then Trick, I thought he did so good going back and forth with Ethan. And he decides to drop a music video diss back at Trick Willie. And so we're going to listen to this. We listen to Trick Williams' diss on Ethan Page on the show. So it's only fair we listen to Ethan Page featuring Valid, whoever this guy is. And it's called Child's Play. Now, I literally just finished watching the Chucky series and all the Child's Plays, and then I watched the Child's Play remake. That movie fucking sucks. Robbie C says, I'm talking about his take on Cody's comments. Oh, he's just LOL. Awful's in there. Heart you too, Phil. Yeah, okay. I sense a PWT civil war brewing. Awful comes in here, and it's a day to rejoice, and you're all fighting. God damn it. Everyone's getting too sensitive these days. Times are tense. There's only one way to break up the tension, guys. Okay, here we go.
I look and see it's not just me. So many others have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problems.
Okay, are you guys good now? Don't make me unleash the rest, okay?
Oh, God, no.
Get through that chorus. Don't.
What the hell?
We'll get through that chorus, bro.
That was a piss break image or video right there.
Well, let's get to some good music because everybody's saying Ethan Page cooked here. Let's listen to this. Trick Willie versus Ethan Page in a rap battle. I'll tell you guys, I really like Trick's original one. I like the video concept. This has already won me over with the title. Let's see. I did not listen to this prior. Let's go. Ethan Page featuring Valid, Child's Play.
Page about to be the Plan B pill for your Plan B career.
1, 2, he's coming for you. 3, 4.
Automatically, I think they're doing Freddy. No, so fucked up. Freddy's not Child's Play.
I'm not doing the love boot.
EGO 5, 6, better hide the kids, cause it's gonna be scary when he whoops that trick. 1, 2, he's coming for you. 3, 4, EGO 5, 6, better hide the kids, cause it's gonna be scary when he whoops that trick.
I heard it's Halloween Havoc, so I'm saying trick or treat. Shiny title in my bag, that's for every trick I beat.
Hey, oh shit, he's got flow. Bro, Canadians can flow. Let's go.
Phil, from a, I heard you do, you dabbled in musical engineering.
Yeah.
Should they have doubled up on his voice from the jump?
Okay, yeah. So what they're doing is a technique. A lot of rookie rappers do that on the come up. Artists in general, they'll double up their whole verse. That's not the way to do it. You're supposed to sort of dub the ends of some of them and not even.
but I
Yeah.
believe that this might be an exception. That's all.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
yeah,
he came
because
in
this is
kind
like a
of- he
squad.
didn't come in forceful and strong and.
Yeah, there are some exceptions, but what I'm saying is that this is more like an anthem, like it's like a chant, like they're doing the 1,
Yeah.
2, we're coming for you,
Gotcha.
whoop that trick. So to
And then he
me, I'm
comes in
liking it
solo.
so far. I'm not burying it, but a lot of people early on, they do that. They double up their vocals and shit, and it's like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Jericho is the Nueva or whatever, Nuevo. He is the no longer the Ocho. He won the Ring of Honor World title.
Your whole life's been a lie, but you're not tricking me. Take your best shot, trick, but you'll never finish me. You're a shoulda, woulda, coulda from here. I'm about to.
No. He's doing it right. He's doing it right. He's let it. So what
Yeah,
he's doing is he's doing his main
Yeah.
line. He's like,
then
you
he's doing his
shoulda,
un-
woulda,
he's doing
and then
his
at the end he tags it. Da from here. I like that. I like that.
Okay.
Fumble that belt like your football career. About to drop that strap like the way you dropped the cash. Calling it the main event, but me and you are not a match. When you lay down, better stay down. October 27th, I'm the devil in the playground. But Mr. Williams, I didn't come to play now. Knocked you out cold the first night that I came out. Yeah, that's the night I made you a star. You see, I've been around the world, you just became what you are. A mascot, not the face of a brand. Came over? No, it never began.
1, 2, he's coming for you. 3, 4,
Let's go, man. He's got. Come on, bars? No chat. Chat feeling it or no?
Yeah, if he has bars, press 1 in the chat.
Yeah.
3, 4, EGO, 5, 6, better hide the kids, cause it's gonna be scary when you whoops that trick.
Let's talk about it. How I made you gasp and crawl, how you chain and your watches from a kiosk at the mall. Bet I'm better on the field and I've never catch the ball. I'm better in the booth and I don't even rap at all. Yeah, I made NXT.
Dude, this shit is funny that they're doing this. Bro, kayfabe is alive and well with shit like this. That's all I'll say.
Cut that check, cause they were short just to E. Now what's up next? Whoop that era, it's on one last breath. The only reason you're the champ is cause a punk ass ref.
It's cause that punk ass ref. Ethan Page then went on to defeat Trick Williams for the NXT title following his historic victory and success of this very music video. All wrestlers stopped making corny songs and videos to promote their violent matches out of respect to all ego. Sexy Red even stopped making music after hearing Ethan Page and Valid perform this classic tune, which was written by Valid because Ethan has children and couldn't even believe he spent this time on this. Make sure you watch Halloween Havoc October 27 on Peacock. Oh my God, we're dropping that. We're giving fucking air horns to that. And it's so funny that I guess this guy wrote it for him. So that's amazing. Shout out Ethan Page. And I love that a lot. Adam Cole we talked about him earlier. He is now coming out to the ring.
Did you see that, by the way? Did you see that that post by Brandon Thurston there, Phil?
Yep. So
I thought it was going to be a funny, hilarious haha. It wasn't funny at all.
No, it's like serious. So Brandon Thurston comes out and says a new lawsuit has been filed today by former WWF Ring Boys against WWE TKO Vince McMahon and Linda McMahon. Press release from attorneys for the plaintiffs. So here's the press releases. I don't know. The underage Ring Boys were groomed, exploited, and SA'd by Phillips, who targeted children from broken homes. His SAs occurred not only at the wrestling venues, but also in hotel rooms and other locations where Phillips would shuttle the boys in plain sight. Jesus. Thanks to the bravery of our clients, we finally have the chance to hold them accountable. I'm skimming through. The survivors only recently learned of the depth of knowledge of the McMahons. WWE and McMahons had a responsibility to these underage boys. These survivors are profiles and courage, etc. This video, man, it's pretty intense. I don't know if
are you gonna play? Yeah, I mean,
it's just a bummer. Yeah.
Can I say something though about that particular thing that you read? One thing I noticed that wasn't on that entire thread was the word police, and I think you know where I'm getting with this. Okay, I'm willing to give women the benefit of the doubt when it comes to issues like this. Easily. they're they can't defend themselves in certain situations.
Right.
Okay. These are guys here. And to my knowledge, I did a little bit of research on this, and this is not to defend anything that happened against these people. But I do want to make mention Mel Phillips was not arrested nor charged. And the FBI, as you'll see in the video, was involved in this, and nobody got arrested. Now, I'm not saying what these guys are saying was bullshit, but what I'm saying is, like, there's another perspective that you have to look at this. One that's cold and truthful and is void of emotion. And those are the facts of the case. But go on, I'm sorry.
Well, I wasn't gonna like even watch this whole thing. It's just like John Doe sued Vince and Linda, TKO Group Holdings for the defendants' role in creating and allowing a culture of SA for underage boys. You go through this here. Let's go back here. Sorry, it was this next one I wanted to read. Oh, never mind. Fucked up. Here we go. The 5 John Does are former ring boys who were recruited by WWE at local venues to set up the ring and perform odd jobs. The ring boys were locally underage, usually from broken homes and underprivileged backgrounds. They talk to people. Pollock, of course, is here, and I don't know, man. It's go and check this out.
What'd you think of it, Phil?
I would just say that I do hope, like, if they were underage and they were being preyed upon, like, I know how easy that can be because I come from like a fucked up background, so I do really feel for them if this stuff happened. And if you're saying the FBI was involved, and I don't know if people, like, how do they get out of not being charged or arrested if the FBI were involved? And it, like, how do they get out of that? Oh, they paid the FBI. I don't know if back then they could do that. Yeah, I don't think back then they even had the money to do that. Like, so I just don't, I'm just gonna.
They were both brought back. Mel Phillips was brought back to the company because there was no arrest, and I think that needs to be filled in with a video like this. Now, listen, I'm the first one to be accused and guilty of propagandizing, but in this particular instance, it's very half-loaded. And then I did some more research and found out that the people who did this video, it wasn't Brandon Thirst at all. It was the legal services that these John Does are under. So they're kind of formulating a case in the court of public opinion, but they're leaving out some very, very important facts, and that is Mel Phillips was not charged or convicted of any of this. And that's not to say that he didn't do the shit again, but when you're leaving that stuff out, this almost amounts to a frivolous lawsuit.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll go too far.
Yeah. So I don't know. I encourage everyone to make your own opinion. Check this video out.
And neglect.
Yeah. And so, MJF's on screen getting a massage from a woman that's not Alicia Atout. Let's cancel him. No, I'm just kidding. So Brian Alvarez on the Carlito thing, he said, I was told EO and Kyrie have no problem with it. I forgot to play this earlier.
I was told by the same person that said that the Carlito line was an ad lib that EO and Kyrie did not have a problem with it.
Of course they didn't. Jesus Christ.
They saw it as him playing an idiot, and that was that.
And people are like, oh, do we need more dumb idiot heels like R-Truth? And I get the question, but he's not like R-Truth. He's not dumb in that way. He's more ignorant is what I called it. He's like a punk ass. He's hanging out with shitheads. So it just makes sense. He's just like, oh, what is the Chinese? I got some super chats here. You ain't hype for $5 says, hate to say it, someone ain't going to make it one of these episodes of AEW. Even crazier, it may happen on free TV. Hope it never happens overall. Yeah, dude, I'm going to give you a what? Because
you ain't hype. I gotta agree with him.
Yeah, I agree
in
too.
A certain way, because I remember a time when I thought that same way about ECW. Thank God it didn't happen, but I was just like, wow, this stuff is really pushing the envelope. And this was at the ECW arena. I'm not talking about WWE's reincarnation of it, but on AEW, it could happen, and that's why these guys have got to come in and they've got to be more safe. They've just got to stop with the shenanigans. Your ratings are what they are. Your viewership is what it is. Start building storylines. I'm noticing tonight they're starting to do that with more vignettes.
Well, I've been calling it out the last few weeks, and I've been putting it over, and they always prove me wrong. But the last, I'd say 3 weeks, they're really going fucking package heavy. They start every episode with a vignette. They're going really story heavy. Lots of in-ring segments. So, and then the matches have been shorter. Now they fucked up tonight with a couple of them that went a little long, but either way, sorry to interrupt you there.
Being one.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
Now
But they have been doing it awful. Keep an eye on it, man. They're trying. We got to give them points for the trying to do the story thing.
I love that. We got to give them points because they're trying.
It's there. That's what it is now, bro. It's like the little.
No, you got to accomplish something before we can give you some points.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the IWCNN. They just clap like seals. That's right. That's coined. They just clap like seals to anything that AEW is doing. And, you know, every critical media outlet be damned.
Yep. Wolverine DX, I see you, but I'm going to circle back to you because I want to talk about that for a sec. Scully Vibes is for $5 says, what's the vibes? Did you guys see the green single guy sign in the crowd? P.S. What's up, awful? 100. Yeah, dude, we can see the guy. I thought he was dressed like the Riddler for a second or whatever. Thanks for tapping in. Awful, peace, what's Scully. Up, man? Yeah. There you go. Peace. Throwing peace around. And Scully, good to see you, buddy. Wolverine DX says, question for the panel. Do you think NXT 2300 post Halloween Havoc have a shot to beat Dynamite on Wednesday? Also, why Tony didn't think about that building? Because Tony just wants to do the big buildings. He doesn't see value in doing the small buildings. We covered it on the show before. He's like, oh, the amenities and it's easier for them to pull their buses in, to have dressing rooms for all the guys that he promised dressing rooms to. That's what the fuck it is. It has nothing else to do with anything else. The people working the venues have an easy night at work for sure.
I said this last night, Phil.
Yeah.
Please do not overdress the ECW arena for NXT.
I hope they don't either.
Don't do too many bells and whistles. And you know who I hope to God that they bring? Who? Everybody's talking about Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's on the quote-unquote shelf. So I don't think he's going to make his arrival there. But you know who could be a great replacement for him? Joey Styles.
Oh,
you bring Joey Styles out there to be like, this is the 23, whatever you say. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to strain my voice, but yeah. See, everybody's thinking left, and it's just like Paul Heyman, he could show up. No. Bring in, you already said Bubba Ray Dudley's going to be there. Bring in Joel Gertner. Bring in, you know, people who you don't have to have a long-term story be disrupted with. You know what I mean? One and done. Joey Styles, you're in, you're out. You made a great appearance. You've hiked up the viewership, especially if you let them know.
And if he intros the show.
And dude,
if he awesome.
Dude, if he intros the show from backstage, like the way, and then like Shawn Michaels comes up to him at the end and goes like, this is NXT or whatever, or some shit, NXT 2300, like, or that would be amazing. Or if he joined Booker and Vic on commentary, or if he just did the ring announcing instead of that one dude, because they're flipping around ring announcers right now. I don't know.
I can't remember that dude's name. I was trying to look him up. It's not Joe Gertner. It was their average default ring announcer, but I can't remember.
He's good. He's good though.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's really good.
Awesome.
And he got demoted too. He got demoted for that other lady there, who's really good as well. They're in a good position, but yeah, I love that. Bring Joey in, and this is what I do like about it. NXT, they're not doing this head to head like, we're going to have John Cena and CM Punk and Randy, or maybe is CM Punk wrestling? I don't know. Who's all wrestling? Have they announced like CM Punk and Roman Reigns and all these people are going to be on our NXT show? Or is it more just like, no, we're going to have, it's like ECW focused? Because my whole thing is like, if they're just going to really compete with Dynamite and they go head to head and it's a good show and they actually like even get close to Dynamite, it's a W, especially if they're not bringing Randy Orton out there and CM Punk and Cena.
Don't do that. Bring out your Joey Styles.
Yeah.
Maybe bring out the Sandman. But see, it all depends on how old these people look.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody, but it's just like, yeah, you still have to like don't bring out Tommy Dreamer. Bubba Ray Dudley, he kind of still looks the same after so many years. I don't know who you bring in after Joey Styles and Joe Gertner. I'm out of ideas. But I saw some people in the chat say like Francine and you know, hey, if you can snag Shane Douglas,
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. Or the fucking
But it's
the
Shawn
place would
Michaels, you
pop
know what I
for that.
mean? And, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you got to do something like that. Or maybe Taz is busy.
Because this is coming up here, folks. This is
Somewhere
1
else.
week away. So it's like, what do we don't have any announcements. Like if CM Punk went there, that'd be cool. Because he's kind of ECW, but WWE ECW, so it's a little different. But I could see them doing that to try and pop a rating. But also it's like the Dudleys could for sure come out and just be like, what's up? Maybe Francine. Shane, I think the place would erupt for that because they just would not expect that.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But my bet,
do not dress this arena up. I beg of you, Shawn Michaels. Like it's almost like the Hammerstein Ballroom. You can't dress that up. It is what it is, and it's lovely. Same thing with the ECW arena. I know it's a bingo hall with bleachers and all there. I've been there many times, but if you're going to promote the 2300 arena and include ECW in the whole thing, you've got to keep it as is. You got to have those little. You got to have the railings that have the bars in them.
Oh
like
yeah,
you just got to bring it all back.
Oh man,
Hey, Awful.
yeah, that's great.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
How fast did tickets go?
Oh my goodness,
Millisecond.
Listen, yeah, it was quick. Once they found out it was in South Philadelphia, Swanson and Rittner, like, come on, man. Everybody wanted to be there. The tickets were outrageous, by the way. I saw a maybe third row seat, excuse me, from the ring, and it was $680. $680
for NXT.
For NXT. This is a hot ticket, apparently.
Man.
And they already know that there's going to be some surprises. Now, fantasy mark booking. How would you include both Paul Heyman, the ECW Extreme owner, into the show and not interfere with the Bloodline mess? Do you actually bring the Bloodline into the arena? Do you bring in Roman Reigns into the arena?
No, I don't think you go that far, but I could see like Jey Uso or maybe no Bloodline. What this is what I would do. I would have Heyman, but no Bloodline. And then I would just have Heyman show up, no Bloodline. But what they have to do as well is they have to do a lights out spot. And then the lights come on, old ECW style. Then someone's in the ring that we're just not expecting. We got to get one of those. And then they should just do their normal NXT TV show, though. They shouldn't like overdo it with the bells and whistles, like you said. Keep it true. But yeah, we got to see some surprises. And they're going to bring out some sort of big guns because of the fact it's going head to head with Dynamite. They know that. And this time it's actually head to head, brother. It's not an hour later.
Ooh.
Do you think, Sabu? Well, here to add on to this, thank you so much, Wolverine DX. But Scully Vibes is for $2 says Rob Van Dam versus Javon Evans NXT 2300.
You know something? Not bad,
dude. I like
the best
that,
guys,
man.
Tony Khan.
Even though it's on the best guys, HBK, because that would be fun. And I think. Hold on, does Javon have an open challenge or no?
If their whole match was chain wrestling.
Yeah. But yeah, so that could be something. I don't know like who would really. I think anyone would erupt the crowd, but it's not going to be like one night stand where we get the whole
Corino
arena.
wasn't that name, Dashing. He wasn't that guy. He's not it.
No. Who could show up? Lance Storm. No.
Mikey Whipwreck.
Yeah, that would be funny. Yes. Steve Austin, he was in ECW, yeah.
Bring him back.
So for $5, Andre Adams pops in and says, speaking of Dynamite, he goes, what's the point of having a faction if they wait to show up after you get jumped in a title match?
That's great.
Tony Khan booking, man. Tony Khan booking. And yeah, we have actually, so the House of Black, they had a 6-man tag there, and they actually just whooped the team's ass relatively fast. And then they called out Adam Cole, and Adam Cole reunited with Roderick Strong and the Kingdom. So the Kingdom come out and they're like, Adam, and then they just align with Adam Cole again, and then they're all talking shit to MJF. So now those asshole prick
Rhea Ripley's husband is talking.
Yeah, and well, but the devil guys are all just baby faces because now in AEW. It's the worst storytelling of all time. Who owns the ECW theme? That would be gotta be WWE, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. They should open the show with that theme, but also they shouldn't because that just feels like they shouldn't overdo it either. I think if they
Now
just
they had
tell
two
their
themes. They had two. There was if you remember, it was like a hard, heavy. It was like a
Yeah.
Who does that song, by the way?
I have no clue, but I just remember like the bone. The one I remember is like the one that we all know, like the one that they played on in the promo for the
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you guys
See,
know what I'm
that
talking
was like
about.
the second one.
Yeah, so that's the one
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
most familiar with. To me, that I
Oh,
associate
the first
with
one was
ECW.
great too. It just was more gritty and
Yeah.
There's a fine line between a ECW tribute show and having NXT at the ECW arena.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's I hope they do their own thing still, but we
Exactly.
just have a couple people show up. Like I just still want it to be
I'm
a
worried
good
about
NXT
that.
show, and then obviously we'll get like a Philly hardcore match, and then we have
You know
the
what,
lighting
George?
guy. Sorry to interrupt, but the lighting guy was in frame on Adam Cole's shot, holding the camera. I mean, holding the light behind him. Sorry, go ahead. It's just
No,
awful.
George, you've got a great point. I guess I was more so thinking about all these stars showing up backstage. You know what I mean? And probably, not even wrestling, not
Yeah,
really
just
wrestling.
showing up.
Yeah, but just showing up and maybe, banting wits with one of the newer NXT people. But yeah, makes perfect sense. You don't want to overload it with people. We were just coming up with a whole bunch of names that we wanted to see on there.
Yeah. Here's Mercedes. She's here.
Yeah,
What?
she is here now. She is with
Okay.
Camille.
How good does she
Sammy
look
Guevara?
tonight?
Someone check Guevara's Instagram and Twitter and let me know if check the Young Bucks travel guy and see if he's got him in a van somewhere.
Oh yeah, Sasha Banks is really doing legs. Yeah, she don't miss.
Oh
leg
yeah.
day. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Queen Aminata is really good too. She's gonna do a job here, and
Which
that's
sucks.
the right. It sucks. It's the right move though. But I would just have. Why the fuck isn't Ring of Honor on YouTube as a weekly show on YouTube? That's what I don't get.
Yeah, put it on the AEW
Man,
page.
Because they have no idea how to run a YouTube page, apparently.
That's a crazy thought. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to ask both of you. Do you guys know who Kosher Irby is?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Okay.
Why do I know?
He's apparently the person that runs the operations to get these arenas for AEW. And he's got his own Twitter page and all that. And he's been employed for at least 2 years, if I remember, because I think he left and they brought him back, based on my notes. But I want to make why does this man not know? And he is a man. Why does this man not know? Get these smaller arenas. You should have been 6. Hold on, Queen Aminata. Holy cow!
I know.
Anyway,
yeah.
But yeah, you've got to make sure that you get smaller arena. I understand the idea of the big arenas, but then truncate your goddamn stage. Close in that large gap between the ring and the people. There's no reason for there to be another ring there in that big open space. What are you doing? Just what do you think they don't have, Phil? What do you think that they don't have that they need to be told? These schematics, these logistics.
It's from
Tony Khan. I think it's people saying. I think it's people going to Tony Khan saying what we're saying. The ones who balls up enough to do it, and he disagrees, and then it doesn't go further from there.
Oh my God!
I agree that it would be if they were in a big building, but then they surrounded the ring, like you said, almost like back in PWG with all the people there, and the ring was just really tight. You know what I mean? It was right packed in, and then they darkened everything, but just lit up the area around the ring.
Yep.
That could be really cool. You can get some really shots above the ring and shit like that. That could be really cool. But
if it could be done like, and I hate to say it, but it could be done like what was going on in the 50s and the 60s. A big, gigantic spotlight on the ring.
Right.
Obviously made to look a little bit better with these modern cameras and all that, but get the crowd out of there, but make sure they're packed tight like sardines. So when they come together and they cheer or boo or whatever, it sounds loud as fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is just not getting it done. They're quiet as a church mouse now.
They filmed a couple collisions like in these smaller buildings. They had a Dynamite recently too that was in like a civic center or whatever.
Right.
And it looked great, and they could film the whole crowd, and it was bright and everything. And I
What
just
was the site again, Phil? I'm sorry.
What's that?
Where were they filming again?
I think they were in Pittsburgh, and they
Okay, gotcha.
did like a civic center.
Okay.
And and it was like the arena was lit up. It looked great, or the arena. It was a civic center, but it was lit up. The crowd looked great, and they like pretty much filled it. Or I don't know if they filled it, or I don't know. I'm sure there was still some tickets laying around, but either way, they just need to do that. Dave Meltzer's brilliant new idea. Oh, we need to, he's just quoting everyone from 2 years ago.
Right.
Hey, Tony should really start running 3 years ago. Tony should really start running smaller buildings, huh? Now, Dave, I've come up with this brilliant new idea. Fucking idiot, man. But it's crazy. It's like you're a fucking idiot and an asshole, really, huh? And you're a baby too, because you cry on fucking Twitter when people are, when you don't understand like how YouTube TV works. But Dashing Purpool says White Zombie Thunderkiss 65. Was that the ECW theme?
I'm so sorry. Say that again.
White Zombie Thunderkiss 65.
Okay, yeah, I do. Yeah, okay, yep. I'll rock with that. I'll rock with it. I'll look it up. That was a great intro to the earlier days of ECW. Hey, Phil, did you ever watch ECW when it was actually around and about? Or were you too young?
I was just too young, man. So
Okay,
it was
gotcha.
basically like everything I
How about
knew
you,
about
George?
We got it in Buffalo on Saturday nights at midnight.
Dude, I mean the experience, like just just watching it, it was just like, this is something outrageously different from everything that you see, but it was good. It was just like, and I'm not, I was 19 years old at the time, but it was just like, this stuff is good, great wrestling television. And
I was like 8 or 9. Like I was familiar with it. I had the video game, so I like knew who was in ECW. I had always heard about it and everything. Like, it's ECW is this thing. Wrestlers would go to WWF. I remember when like the internet was first like a thing, and then I'd go online on like nodq.com, and they'd be like, this guy was an ECW, whatever. I'd download off LimeWire. I'd download like, oh, this match that happened in ECW, or like Ring of Honor was the thing. I'd download like Amazing Red highlights, or whatever, things like that. And so, I was familiar with it, but I didn't get to watch it. Like it wasn't like it was readily
Dude, in the early
available.
days, and I hate to sound like an old fogey, but in the early days, they had Don Morocco, they had Jimmy Snuka,
like
Hot
Eastern
Stuff Eddie.
Championship wrestling.
Yeah, Eastern Championship Wrestling. And that it was the same arena, just a different name, but it was just so incredibly visually striking and just great wrestling, but also great storylines, because now I think about it, these guys are from the 80s, so they knew the old school ways. But that's what ECW was. And because it was taking place on like the Philly stations and all that, it just felt so exclusive. Like, you never heard of ECW? This shit's great. So I hope they do well by ECW come November 4th or 5th or 6th, whatever it was.
Yeah, no doubt. But here we go. Speaking of doing well, on the Globe and Mail, Chelsea Green, as fucking Aminata's taking supposedly Monet's heater to the limit, which good for her, but like not good for Camille. She's been made to look a fool. Speaking of someone who's someone who gets made to look a fool, but like benefits from it greatly, Chelsea Green. She has a quote here from Globe and Mail. Let's just celebrate her for a second. She goes, I lived in Japan. I broke my collarbone in India. I wrestled luchadors in Mexico. It shaped me in the sense that I can get through anything. And I did all that and did it for $20 a night. If you want something enough, you will go through hell and high water to get it. Chelsea Green embraces the grind. That's all I got to say. So Bobby Lashley speaks on the Hurt Business not reuniting in WWE, says the new regime wasn't high on him at all. And he goes, it was kind of a spit in the face. We were never in front of a live crowd. During the pandemic, a lot of guys sat at home. I'm not going to do this or that. And it was us saying, it's work. We're going. We did everything. We were on half the show most of the time. came out of the pandemic and people started resurfacing. Oh, I'm ready to work. What about the guys who were putting the time in during this dangerous time? True that, though. We got overlooked. That was a little bit of a spit in the face, he says again. I think we could have come back and done some big things together. They just didn't want us. Different strokes for different folks, different people like different things. When the regime changed, the regime wasn't too high on me at all. So what I had heard was Lashley had like a big ass contract. It was like a Vince deal. So it was like millions of dollars, limited dates already. And then pretty much like as what you said earlier, probably they looking at the analytics and they're like, okay, is he worth like 3 million or whatever, maybe not 3 million, whatever. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't know. It sucks. They felt like disrespected. I would have.
What do you think Tony paid him? I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. I would have loved to see Hurt Business get back together for sure. But what would Tony pay Lashley?
Yeah, what do you think he got him?
2 million, I bet, a year. 3 million a year.
How many matches? How many dates?
Listen, if they're the guys that are going to come in and beat the Moxley crew, he's probably because you got to think, man. You have everyone. Like, what is he paying Shelton? $500,000 to $1 million, right? At least, do you think?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
So then MVP probably the same, maybe even a little more because he does shit backstage.
Little less.
Even.
I'm not really giving MVP all that much money. I mean,
okay.
What I mean? And you wouldn't.
I could see him working his way into like a creative role or something, though. You know what I mean? Or like, hey, I'm backstage. I'm also a producer. I could totally see him getting Tony's money, but maybe not.
Right.
So he's a talent and a backstage guy. I don't know anything. I have no insight on that, but I'm just saying. So then Lashley, I don't know. He's a 2 million guy to Tony, at least 3. You got to think if Moxley's making like 3 to something, he'll give Lashley a little less than Mox because Moxley's like his guy,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what's the average age of the group?
I don't know. Lashley's like 52 or something.
Yeah, I know.
52.
Is he really? Let's look.
I don't know how old he is.
Bobby Lashley age. He is 48 years old. Sorry, Bobby. Okay. So let's look at MVP age. Here, MVP wrestler age. He's 50. So, and then let's look up Shelton Benjamin age. He's 49. So they're all 50, bro, pretty much. So, and I'm not hating on them, man. Benjamin looks like he could clear out.
Their average age is 49.
Exactly.
Like, come on now. They've got the analytics on them.
Yeah, we got Statlander out here who's all of a sudden babyface again, too. It's ridiculous. But speaking of keeping kayfabe, man, like here's Dom and Liv out together. Like, Jesus Christ, his wife. I think I tweeted out, I was like, his wife is the best at keeping kayfabe or whatever. It's cute. It's crazy that they just like know to be in their gimmicks at like a hockey game like that the whole time. Right. Like she didn't prep him there. They know to do it. His wife's okay. It's just crazy. Good for Dom. Living his best life. Right. Yeah. So the new name for Delta in NXT appears to be Zarya. Did they say it? Chat, let me know. Did they say it on the air? Because I didn't actually hear them. I did see her like debut, but they were just like, she's here. So Zarya or Zarya, I don't know. I hope it's pronounced Zarya because Zarya is kind of like Saraya, I don't know. But she's just got a hell of a look, man. I think she's going to do wonders in the women's division. And it's a different look, too, because it's very like college athlete, high schoolish type of thing in NXT, and she doesn't really fit that model, so Vacker and Julia barely do as well. So maybe Delta's just like have a few matches, get called up pretty quick. She's got size. You need challenges for people like Nia. Who knows? We'll see how good she can work. But again, I think a bunch of these women got to get called up though from NXT sooner rather than later, or if that call-up thing's not a thing and they just sort of split NXT SmackDown like I've been predicting, and we see that with Jakara and Lash, but either way, I digress. What do you guys think? Some people are saying it's an L. We see underneath here people are laughing at like her name and stuff like that. Do you guys think Zarya is a shitty name or?
Well, it beats Daria.
Yeah. That was a good show, though. Wasn't that the name of the show? Yeah, Daria.
It was
Yeah,
okay.
so it was all right. Yeah. George, what about you, buddy? Do you like Zarya?
There are worse names.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And I wonder why they changed it from Delta. A lot of people are asking and stuff. I don't know. Someone either has it trademarked or it's just they're like, okay, Delta. I mean, who knows? There's a myriad reasons why they could. But Netflix Raw is reporting. Oh, and I called this too. Your boy, I called this from day one. Netflix Raw, unless this is false from PW Insider, but they go Netflix Raw is reportedly leaning more towards 3 hours with potential flexibility to change duration depending on what's needed that week. What's Phil been saying for fucking a month? I'll tell you what we've been saying here at PWT, folks. Yo, it'll be 240 one week. It might be 210. It might be 3 hours. It might be 310. If The Rock comes back and wants to go 10 minutes long, don't fucking matter. They don't got to play this overrun game. The Raws will be anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5 hours is my prediction, all depending on what's needed to be put on the show. What do you think about that, though, Awful? Do you think that that's better? They have room to play, or do you think that it leaves maybe room for error? Like maybe they get too funny with it. Is Awful with me?
Uh-oh.
No, he's okay. We'll get him back. Don't worry. But either way, I think it's a good thing. And I digress. Some people are saying, yeah, it's an L for the Zarya name. Like, I don't think it's an L, man. I think Delta's more of an L, not to L on her old name. Delta. It's even in the name, bro. But moving along here. So getting into, I think we have like some TNA news as well. So Bound for Glory is expected to be TNA's highest grossing live event in 2024, as well as their highest paid ticket total for the States this calendar year. Their previous record for 2024 was last month's Victory Road in Texas. Texas, B. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, Moose Knuckle says Netflix isn't buying less of a show. Yeah, they're absolutely not. You know, so it'll be closer to 3 hours. But either way, though, shout out TNA, and this is what I mean. Like, they make all this money, and they could be hiring more and I'm not saying hire all the free agents, but there's people who could be featured. Like, I think Hurt Business would be better in TNA personally, and yeah, it's just Tony Khan's pricing these people out and stuff. But if TNA stays on this path, they could blow up and be the number 2 next to WWE. Honestly, it could happen if they stay this course. But I think maybe the WWE relationship sort of does keep them under WWE's thumb a little bit at the same time. So I don't know. Shout out TNA, though. They're doing fantastic stuff. And Maple Leaf Pro as well. What's up?
Phil, do you think Styles goes to TNA before he retires?
I could see him not even doing a one-off match, but like doing their Hall of Fame thing or whatever, you know, but I don't see him like going to TNA, like maybe
sure.
have one match, but against who? Like Josh Alexander? Just
yeah, I
do
don't
that
know.
shit in WWE.
Just a thought.
Yeah, you could just do that in WWE. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Awful's who knows where he's at. He will come back though. He has not left, so he's probably just busy chatting up his lady there or something like that. But nonetheless, so I mentioned it earlier. We got MVP versus Barnett, Bloodsport 12. So let's go. I'm excited for that. We're in miscellaneous news here. So I put out a poll, Pro Wrestle Times. What series do you think I should watch and react to with the PWT universe on Patreon? So over on Patreon, guys, patreon.com/Pro Wrestle Times, we are talking about I'm talking to you guys about fucking. I'm completely lost my train of thought.
What are you watching? Dynamite? Are you still watching Dynamite?
Yeah. I was fucking distracted there for a second by it. So okay, on Patreon, we're doing all the Botchamanias. I'm at like number 6 or 7, whatever just dropped. And then I was like, what TV series should we watch along? So I put polls up on Twitter, YouTube, Patreon. You guys go vote on that. But so far, it seems like we're going to watch Tough Enough is the first series. Like we're going to watch the first season at least, and then maybe I'll run another poll. So yeah, make sure you guys check that out. 47, almost half you guys voted for Tough Enough on the Twitter one. But Marco Stunt, and I put this out and I said, yo, this kid's only 28, man. And unfortunate health update on former AEW star Marco Stunt, wrestling career in jeopardy. And he tweets out, gonna be super transparent, got some health stuff going on. I don't know how much more I'm gonna physically wrestle, which kills me. I still got a bit left in me, but it's also why I'm so focused on PW adrenaline right now. If I can't wrestle, I know PWA can be a place to still create. So it's unfortunate. I don't ever want to see anybody, especially at 28, see their in-ring career come to an end. I know it's Marco Stunt, guys, right? But
yeah, I mean, come on now. I had jokes for days on this one.
And Joe says, we have any details as to what his ailments are? I have no clue. Are they caused by wrestling or related to whatever his likely pre-existing condition is? Oh my God, Dose. Jesus Christ. But no, you're right though. I have no clue. I didn't look into it.
You know what his ailment was? I just figured it out. Not being good enough.
I just don't think dudes like that should be being bumped around by like Lance Archers and stuff. I don't think that's good for your
body's
body,
not built for that. It's for in Marco Stunt's case, it's for gathering breast milk and still developing.
Laying under a hot lamp with a blanket somewhere and fucking cooking.
However, he did get paid for a couple of years by Tony Khan. So
yes, he did. He worked them, didn't he?
Yep.
Who hasn't? I've got.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Jesus. So Andre Adams for $5 says, okay, let me get this straight. Main event is the top and bottom express. Oh my God. Versus Private Party and Daniel Personality Garcia. What the fuck? Yeah, dude. It is definitely.
You what? You fucking mark!
Booked for you know who and by you know who and you know why. So Jesus Christ, that's a funny one. Okay, so it's time for everyone's favorite moment of the week, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. So we'll start at the bottom, work our way up. AIR Gold Duck tweets this out and says, Dave Meltzer thinks it's a bad idea to have a 49-year-old Shelton Benjamin beat young guys in AEW. And let's hear what Meltsy Seltsy Wavy Davy has to say about Shelton Benjamin, who he's been critical of coming into AEW the whole time because he wants to see Ospreay and Cosplay both get pushed for sure. You know that. But at the same token, it's like, why bury the guys that or I don't know, maybe this is him being critical. He's not really burying him. We'll hear what he has to say, but at least he's being critical a bit. But it's just like, Dave, at this point, this isn't the thing to like even, oh, I can't believe he'd bring this guy in, bro. He'd bring the Yeti in if he was still a guy, you know? He'd bring fucking Doink the Clown in if he could.
Shelton Benjamin, Sammy Guevara thing, like, it's like, I get it. I get it. You know, Shelton Benjamin needs a big win going into the Swerve match. Sammy's a good wrestler. In theory, it reminds me of Val Venus and Christopher Daniels when in the days of TNA, where, you know, like when Bischoff came in and he brought in all these washed up WWE guys.
Bro, he's calling Benjamin washed up. Like, Dave is so dumb, and I point this out all the time. He never realizes when he backhand disses everyone. You're dissing Tony. You're dissing yourself for trying to put this guy over as the best booker, but then going, oh, he brings in these washed up old guys. And then you're calling Benjamin and MVP and all these guys washed up, all in the same breath. And then meanwhile, you're going to give Benjamin versus Guevara fucking 4.5 stars. So I don't know, man.
And had them beat the top, you know, their guys.
And have them beat the top, their guys. So, like, I don't know. Is the plan, like, to me, I try to psychoanalyze this. Is Dave stooging what I've been saying, that Hurt Business is going to beat Moxley and shit? Right? Because he's like, oh, it's like, it reminds me of when, you know, WCW and Eric Bischoff basically and Hogan and those guys invaded TNA and beat all their top guys, sort of thing. And it's like, okay, let's say you're comparing that to Lashley and them, right? Benjamin's fought Leo Rush and Guevara so far, so it isn't beating. It's not like he came in and beat like Rob Van Dam beats whoever or you guys get what I'm fucking saying, right? Like Christopher Daniels losing to Val Venus, like the example you gave. It's not like that. So yeah, he's beating their guys, but is Leo Rush really their guy? He just signed as well. And I think he signed after Benjamin did, technically. So, and then Guevara, I guess, yeah, that's one of their guys, but is he one of their top guys? No. So the comparison's off, and all you're doing is calling Benjamin washed, and I have to point that shit out.
Because they've all been on TV. They have more TV time, so therefore they're bigger stars because they had,
They're bigger stars than Benjamin because they've had more TV time. Benjamin's had more TV time where he's phoned it in than any of these people have had TV time for the most part, dude.
But it, there is a purpose. And Sammy, when
there is a purpose. Sorry, I know I'm pausing it every second, but I'm just breaking this down, guys. There is a purpose. Dave knows the purpose. And I swear it's going to do with the Neo Moxley thing, and they're not going to push any of these guys. All the guys standing out with sticks and bats and pitchforks and torches outside in the parking lot during this Dynamite, waiting for Moxley, none of them will save the day. And if it is Orange Cassidy, the company dies right there.
Lost by Sammy Guevara, which I'm assuming happens. Maybe he wins, but I seriously doubt it. That doesn't kill him or anything like that. But as a general rule, in the right direction. But for this one time, I mean, the big thing is to get Shelton Benjamin ready for Swerve. That's the goal for right now. So he should win, and he should win over somebody good.
If you remember, Phil, this was the same guy that said the whole Tony Khan neck brace thing was going to lead somewhere.
Yeah.
And even before that, preceding that, he said the same thing about the CM Punk video from Wembley.
Even he looks tired of just saying this bullshit. And then he's like, and we need to get Benjamin ready for Swerve.
Look at that look.
Yeah. He's just given up. He's defeated. And it's like, what does Benjamin fighting Leo Rush and Guevara, how the fuck does that get him ready for Swerve Strickland? It just that doesn't even make sense to me at all. So we'll continue.
So I get it. But, it's Shelton Benjamin. And I mean, he looks, physically he looks good and all, but it's going down the wrong path.
What's going down the wrong path?
Yeah, and why Leo Rush and not say, God,
Pack or one of those fucking guys or whatever.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then it'll at least justify the 20 minutes that you're going to have that match.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So he's like, I don't get it, but I kind of get it.
He doesn't get it.
I know, it's so funny. I don't get why they're doing this, but like I do kind of get it. It's a big picture, but like I don't get it. It's like Val Venus. Fucking Dave. So Meltzer talks about Samantha Irvin, and apparently she couldn't come to terms on her working on outside projects, resulting in her departure. I don't know how much because they let Pat McAfee do outside projects now, provided he is big, like on his own, he got really big on his own. However, I don't think WWE can accommodate those things, and they also, I did read that they were saying they might bring her back from time to time. So clearly they can, this is sort of them accommodating that, but I don't know. I think she just appears in AEW. Like this is a narrative. She could, because then she can go, oh, well, they let me do outside projects or whatever.
Right.
That's, I don't know. To me, that's just what I'm thinking. But Meltzer goes, she's got some, outside projects, she wants to do, apparently, couldn't, come to terms with, exactly how it worked with WWE, and off she goes. She has reportedly, Brian considered leaving the WWE for a year with the goal to be more involved in her music career. It's just a scummy, seedy business. You don't want to even get into that shit. So she's actually been thinking about it for a year. She wants to get more involved with her music. It was something she had been talking about for a long, long time and finally pulled the trigger on it. Wow, Dave. So for a long, long time, you didn't report that she was going to leave WWE is what you're saying. It's not like planning on going to AEW, not saying 100% that she won't. Ricochet actually tweeted that she's not going, and it's not her intention on going there. I don't know. I don't believe that. I don't believe what Dave has to say. So
Hey,
for
Phil?
yep.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but can I make a general comment about Mr.
Go
Dave?
ahead. Yeah.
I think Awful and I are around the same age. And when we were in our 20s, it used to be a big deal to get a copy of the Observer or knew somebody that had the Observer, and you had to read it. And it was the biggest thing in the world. And then to see what it's become now, it just, I feel like I did something wrong when I was a kid.
They're all a bunch of fucking.
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
They're just liars, dude. Yeah, when I was a kid, I was really into like going, like I said, on nodq.com. And like, of course, I knew the Observer was like my whole life, you know? So, but to me, it wasn't this coveted thing. Like like I said, I was downloading shit on LimeWire and Googling things and like YouTubing things early on, you know? So,
right. Yeah, but we're 20
I
years.
remember when there was just floppy disks too. And I remember when it changed to where I was like, holy shit, there's like YouTube and stuff. And I was always like, you know, on that shit. I was privy to it. I was on top of it, but
George is making it seem like we're doing this podcast at a retirement home.
Yeah,
like,
from
Barney
Rubble.
I mean, Phil, we're 20 years apart, Phil. So I mean,
yeah,
you gotta remember we grew up in. Never mind. I don't want to get.
Meltzer was credible. You
yeah,
believed his lies about
exactly. You took what he wrote, and you like ran with it to the school or told your friends about it. Hey, did you hear what Meltzer said? And now it's all blocked. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good, man. That's a great fucking addition you brought there because I didn't ever even think about it that way. Like I didn't live that, you know what I mean? It was more like, look at this. Did you see this online? Did you see what this guy posted on fucking?
He was like the variety of the wrestling business, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, it was like an industry newsletter that fans were somehow able to get. You know what I mean? It was obviously for the fans, but the information was just so inside, so very meticulous at the time. So, you know, you kind of trusted it as a source. But because the world's gotten bigger and there's so many outlets now, and he's got to actually compete this time around. I'm sure he was competing with like, you know, the earlier online sites and all that, but he wiped them up. But now there's a new crop, and it involves video. And look at this guy's mug. I mean, really, is that really ready for, you know what I mean? Like, is that really ready for the 11 o'clock news? Or
and also
it's
guys
just like Chris Van Vliet.
I know.
I would have said Waterhead Sapp, but you got people who are now in this industry doing what he's doing, but just much better.
Yeah, and it's just a dated way of fucking like wrestlers can just tweet out what they think or whatever, you know? It's just such a dated way of covering the wrestling, I think, too, that is, I don't know, man. I've been saying it forever since I started this pod. This whole, like, it's like a new wave is coming in of like, and it's happening in other areas of YouTube and podcasting and shit like that as well, you know? And I just think these guys they're just clinging on, man. Wrestle Talk sucks. Yeet. Thank you for the $7.99 Australian. I will give you a yeet. From Zombie Boss. Yeah, Wrestle Support, Wrestle Talk. What?
Here's one for you.
Yeah.
I thought it was the coolest thing in the world when I read the Observer and I learned that Shawn Michaels' real name was Sean Higginbottom.
Yeah, Mike Higginbottom.
Yeah, then you learn that like Undertaker was Mark Calloway. You didn't know any of that stuff.
What I would do is I would look up.
Thank you.
What I would do is I would look up the results of house shows too. Like I would go and make sure I knew like, oh, they were in like Sacramento and no, this guy lost to this guy.
Oh wow, really? Are you serious?
I
wasn't that deep. Like I would just like read the top stories, and like when it got down to the point where it was just like, here are CMLL results from the, you know, what? I'm not really digging that. I will here's what happened at Budokan Hall. Okay, yeah, I'm reading all that. Okay, I hear you. Whatever.
No, I dig it. Yeah, definitely changed. But Wrestle Talk sucks. Thank you so much for the super chat. Rabid Wolverine LC Killer 17 for $5 says, if I'm a wrestler, I want to use Evanescence, Bring Me to Life for an epic WrestleMania entrance. All of this time, I can't believe I couldn't see. Kept in the dark, but you were there in front of me. That song. Bring me to life. That's a good ass song, dude. Yeah, I would maybe I'll karaoke it like I did Bad Blood during the Bad Blood pay-per-view. Thank you so much. Super chat. Pete in Texas for $2 says they grew up with the WCW hotline and Mean Gene. Yeah, Yeah, dude. And I remember Taboo Tuesday was like, what a revolutionary concept I remember too. Like, we get to vote on the match.
You're young.
Yeah. So I remember being a kid and just marking out for that shit. And yeah, I was like real into the magazines too. Like the WWE magazine was my shit, you know?
Right.
And I'd clip stuff out of that and everything. But speaking of Wavy Davy, Alfred Konuwa posts at This Is Nasty, of course, posts this. He says, it's voting season and we're just 2 Tuesdays away from election day. You have 2 assignments. 1, register to vote. 2, vote Dave Meltzer for AEW head of creative. The man's been glazing Tony Khan and AEW for 5 years with no payoff that we know of. He needs this. Shout out Alfred, and here's Glaze Meltzer with
Porky Pig of
just failing. Here we go.
Dave Meltzer is the Porky Pig of pro wrestling. He stuttered his way through a wrestling media career with an impressive resume of 100,000 500,000 1.2 million co-host interruptions, 2.3 billion interactions with trolls, and so many retractions that number hasn't even been invented yet. Despite using his message board as a safe space for Tony Khan, Dave Meltzer was passed up for his dream job as Tony Khan's assistant scheduler in 2023. But with AEW...
Hold on. Is that true?
I think this whole thing is a rib, Phil.
Okay.
He used budget.
So he wasn't passed up for a job with AEW. Did Dave really try to literally like out front work with Dave? I don't know.
He might have tried to get a consulting job of some sort or some sort of back end gig. I don't know.
I'm sorry if that went over my head. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
he was going to be Tony Khan's paralegal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, on my plane. It's a fun. We got lollipops and stuff. It's fun. Vince is like, hey, I had kittens on mine, pal. I gifted them out.
Budget increase. Dave Meltzer's 5 years of glazing might pay off after all. Meltzer's influence on Tony Khan has led to an influx of random internet darlings at the top of the card. An AEW creative that comes second to moves.
I love that shit.
And super workers. As a result, casual viewers nationwide have been inspired to change their channels and even turn off their TVs. In 2024, wrestling fans getting fresh air is at an all-time high on Wednesday nights. Dave Meltzer has a star ratings plan that'll triple 5-star matches for AEW, thereby reducing viewership by 50%, increasing excuses by 80%, and moving the whole product to 2,500-seat buildings. By the end of 2025, AEW live shows will take place for an audience of 1 in San Jose, California, in Dave Meltzer's dungeon, with AEW media freak-offs for Tony Khan's
Oh my god. Oh, I love this so much.
favorite podcasters. And if you don't like that, it's because you don't read, you don't learn, and you just don't study. So study these nuts and vote Dave Meltzer for AEW head of creative.
Oh my god, that is amazing. Round of applause for that, because that was great, dude. I love that. What a heater. Whoever voiced over that, was that AI?
It's gotta be AI.
It's gotta be AI.
Unless Alfred is the greatest
Dave Meltzer is the Porky
Sorry.
Yeah, because that sounds exactly like Alfred.
AEW freak-offs, what are they? Unsolicited TK hugs for hours?
Yeah,
we need to get Burning Senton in here with another fantastical tale. So Dave Meltzer has confirmed that Penta El Zero Miedo's AEW contract has not been extended, with Tony Khan also unlikely to use Ray Phoenix on AEW TV, despite adding injury time to his deal. Penta's deal was not extended. They didn't have the right to do that, so he's going to be a free agent. As far as Phoenix, my impression is if guys are going to go to WWE, Tony's not going to use them. They're just going to be frozen for a while. Jesus Christ. So I know everyone's beat this to death, and Dave's shedding no new light on anything here, but it's like, I don't know, man. Good for me, not for thee. Tony Khan, he wants to be able to freeze people, but at the start he wants to be like, we're not gonna do that. We've covered it to death, but just ridiculous. But he's well within his right to do so, and if WWE did the same, we wouldn't blame them.
Yeah.
No
big deal.
Yeah, they'll be there when the time's right.
Unfortunately, Phil, Chuck Taylor's getting beaten down by the Neo Moxley group.
Unfortunately, for
who?
Maybe
sarcasm.
Maybe for Taylor, he might be out of another job here. I guess maybe he'll end his producing job or whatever this is. So,
now, what
if
are the Young Bucks doing out there?
I don't know, but if they turn babyface, it's going to be funny. So they stomped him with the chair. Cassidy's out here. We're locked in on this. And then they just run off from all the jobbers, like Action Andretti and shit.
Horrible. Horrible.
Well, let's see, man. Satnam Singh is just like a guy. Satnam Singh's just like, oh, yeah, he's one of the boys. He runs from Jack Perry or whatever. Like, he couldn't just, like, he's not the guy you unleash to just destroy everyone who's invading the company. We have a giant monster. Have him fucking double choke slamming dudes and shit. No, he's just running out there with fucking Rocky Romero and shit.
They're focusing on Cassidy on the camera
know.
shot. So that's the story, unfortunately. But it's going to be it. Look, he's getting mad.
Dude, they're really going to run with Cassidy,
yes, they are.
man.
Yeah, this is it. This is it right here.
This is going to make him serious now. He's going to come out wearing tights and elbow pads, and he's going to be
next
a real
AEW champion. Oh, Christ.
If they put the fucking title on dude, nobody. This is so bad.
Now, who was that guy anyway? I see them. They're putting them in a neck brace and all that right now.
That's Chuck Taylor.
And so he's
friends.
Okay. And so he's the last of the best friends.
Yes, he was already, his in-ring career ended recently,
right?
Where Trent Beretta ended it when they turned him heel, and then he just disappeared off of TV forever. Now they're trying to tell the story because Cassidy was in their little group that Cassidy's like them attacking Chucky T. Now Cassidy's gonna snap and be like I'm getting serious now, and he's gonna lead the charge against everyone in or the Neo Moxley clan here. And no one wants to see that. I'm so sorry. No one wants to see you push Yuta, Cassidy, Garcia. Nobody wants that, especially when we know who you have sitting on the bench. No one wants that. So Jack Perry and the Bucks are going to turn face or whatever. They're going to side with Team AEW eventually. I guarantee it's what they do. And it's all just it's horrendous, man. It's overall a horrendous show. I don't know. They tried with the video packages. My thoughts on Dynamite, I guess. They're ending it with storytelling, but no one's going to get invested in fucking Cassidy sitting there like, okay, now I'm serious. Nope. It just doesn't happen. I'm so sorry. You've ruined it. And he's like undersized. So if he was like a big goofy guy who wasn't serious, and then the whole time it was like, well, when he unleashes that fury one day, he's going to be unstoppable. But his whole, it's not even like anything.
We're
like
5 years into that guy, aren't we?
Exactly, 5 years
it's just
in.
like, come on now, you don't have another layer to your onion. You got to have a third dimension now.
Oh, well, they're about to show it now. Hulk Hogan was Hulk Hogan for 8 years there, for 10 years there. Awful. He was Hulk Hogan, just being Hulkster.
Yeah, but he was putting butts in seats.
Yeah, man. He was slamming giants and fucking selling out arenas. The Silver Dome brother, the Super Dome Jack.
Yeah.
The way Tony Khan had that go off the air, though, I think he's going to put the belt on him. Boy,
yeah. We were all saying Darby, but
it's going to happen.
The world belt?
Yeah.
His plan. It's going to be Moxley.
People said it a long time ago, too. Like, people were saying that I think like Bischoff or Conan or one of these guys who have like worked in AEW, one of these old heads with one of the podcasts, were saying a long time ago, maybe like a couple years ago, they were like, Tony is gonna put the strap on Cassidy. Like, that's what he's gonna do. I'm telling you, like, that's who his idea is of who he's gonna push. And you guys got to remember, they were saying WWE's talent. Remember, these sickos were saying, "Oh, why would you put the strap on Cody?" Cassidy's 40, literally, and I'm not exaggerating this time. Like the 52 thing, he's literally 40. I looked it up last show. So he's the guy to lead the charge of all the young, spry talent and pillars and all the guys that you're trying to make people into stars.
Orange Cassidy is the embodiment of Tony Khan's like imaginary best friend or something. Like he's the definition of cool to Tony Khan.
It's true, and it's terrible, man. It is absolutely terrible. So here, I got one last story for Dave Meltzer, then I'll play a flute. Meltzer thinks last night's attack from Uncle Howdy could potentially be Paul Ellering's swan song in WWE. He said he got the impression watching on this show that maybe Ellering is done. I don't think he adds anything. I think the whole idea with him is that somebody got in their heads that we want these guys to be the next Road Warriors. Dave, Jesus Christ. So to make them the Road Warriors, we're going to put Paul with them. But he just stands there. He barely talks. He never interferes. He's 71. All that travel can't be easy. Dave is kind of right. And if they do write Ellering off, then at least they did it in a correct way where they, he saved the Miz and it progresses everyone along the way. But awful. I know you got to get out of here. Your swan song. So what do you make of Dave speculating on Ellering's swan song here? Do you pick up on that they did this to him to get rid of him?
Very first 5 words is I got the impression watching. And so that doesn't mean any sort of news or any sort of insight at what Dave Meltzer has. His opinion is just as valuable as mine at this point, and valuable as yours.
Yep.
The whole idea with him. Okay, so yeah, maybe he wanted to go home. Okay, great. He's 71. It's just like, all right, there's almost like a level of knowledge that the wrestling fan shouldn't know, if that makes any sense. Like, there's just some things that you shouldn't just, I mean, and this is one of them. Like, who cares? Like, what sort of inside baseball are you giving us as far as Paul Ellering is concerned and his supposed, exit from the storyline? I don't know. I hate British wrestling sites.
I think Dave's thing is like, this is an easy speculation to make, so he's just gonna like try and drop some bars,
Right, like,
that's all it is. Yeah. And with that, guys, that was Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week. And awful, I know you got to get out of here, man. Let the good folks know where they can find you if you got anything you want to plug. And thank you so much for out of nowhere popping up and doing this, bro.
Yeah, no problem. I had time tonight. You can catch me out on AEW FUL Wrestling on Twitter or X.com, whatever you want to call it. I call it Twitter.
Yep.
And every Tuesday on Toonie Talk Wrestling with Marv Diss and Kevin Apollo.
And Neckbeards.
And Neckbeards, producer Neckbeards. I cannot forget producer Neckbeards. But yeah, what do you think, before I get out of here? The viewership. What do you think?
For this one, not good. I see it doing under what NXT did. I guess the number is 702 or 720. Either way, I think it does less than that, and I think a bunch of people get mad at Alfred Konua. Yeah.
I'm saying 688 tomorrow.
Yeah, if you want an over under, I'll say about 680 to 680. I'll go.
Right.
698.
Okay. Gotcha. But all three of us under 700,000.
Yeah.
All right. Well, peace to the chat. Peace to you, Phil. Peace to you, George. Thank you guys for having me on.
Peace,
and yes, indeed. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Round of applause for Awful Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, guys. Here, let me read some super chats, and then we're gonna dive into some sickos before we get out of here. Okay, we'll hang out for a little bit longer. Zombie Boss for $8 Australian says, "I'm excited to see where the Uncle Howdy story goes with the Final Testament." Me too. I mentioned it earlier. Like, that's really gonna cook. That I think is gonna be good. The back and forths. They're both the spooky people, so kind of lump them together. Final Testament are heels. are the Wyatt Six heels. They're kind of these tweeners, anti-heroes. I love it. I say go full force with it, and I agree with you big time. Thank you so much. You ain't hype for $2 says should have watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Weak show. Bro, where are you in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? I fucking love that show. Me and my girl love that show. I'm gonna have to rewatch it eventually, but yeah, during the pandemic era, we rewatched all of MCU, and yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of her favorite shows in all of MCU, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is great. And I always said they should bring back Agents of S.W.O.R.D. is what they should call, like in the comics after S.H.I.E.L.D. they became S.W.O.R.D. And what that Nick Fury Secret Invasion show should have been was him regathering all of the people from that show, like sort of from different timelines and space or whatever the fuck, and then assembling them as like a new, I don't know. We're fantasy mark booking MCU now. Jamie Earhart said, never again say Davis was right. Never again say Davis was right. You what? Sorry. Well, speaking of Sicko Phil and Sicko statements, thank you for the super chat. It is time for our Sicko segment here, so let's get in. We'll do a few of these here. There's a lot of them. You guys know that. So on that note, let's cue the Sicko song. I guess it's not even a song. Jingle. So AEW Neckbeard says, remember folks, AEW fans thinking that Liv and Dom storyline was the Janelle Grant versus Vince McMahon case turned into an angle. AEW fans when Drew Gulak turns his sexual assault allegations into an angle. So AAR Gold goes, I just said it on SA, sorry YouTube. Janelle Grant is a human being, a victim and a survivor, not a WWE storyline, and callous Janelle Grant's lawyer. Can't think, and then AAR Gold says, can think of at least one WWE storyline that she might be referring to. And then Gulak turns his SA allegations into an angle. And I'm going to play that for you guys. He turned this thing like into a storyline on the indies. I think with Masha Slamovich or maybe someone else. Let's play this clip. And I don't know if AIR Gold was celebrating it, but it was what it was. But here.
Anytime ever in the business that we've been here together and Beyond Wrestling, did I ever in any way make you feel uncomfortable?
No.
At any time, did you feel like I was a danger in the locker room?
No.
Well, you should have.
What? Oh my goodness!
What a horrific display.
I mean, it's smart, gotta work it into a shoot, brother. You know what I mean? Like, it's smart, I guess, but it's not. I get why you do it for heat or whatever, but I don't know. I think not that I give a fuck and I'm out here, but it's like society's just so soft these days. You can't do that shit. People are going to just get mad at you about it, but fuck them. That's what I say. Zombie Boss for $3 says Time Cop. Oh yeah. It's like my favorite movie. Thank you so much. And then Plenty and Pixel Art for $7.27 says the Sicko song that's not even a song, but is from a song. The Sicko song that's from a song, but is not even a fucking song. Exactly. Thank you so much. Started Agent Carter. Yeah, Agent Carter's really good shit too. You watch, that's pre-MCU everything. Thank you, Plinian, for the super chat and for gifting memberships earlier. That's awesome. Riho Samantha Johnson, AEW Shockwave 2025. That is hilarious. We'll keep the sickos down there. So wow. So this guy Demetrius Shai says people don't understand the problem here is that calling someone who is Japanese Chinese is like calling the black person the N-word. Are you
fucking mark?
Damn.
Wow.
It's too bad people are that fucking stupid. So Janelle Grant is someone I got tagged in the shout out. LC Killer says your thoughts. So Janelle Grant is the person most directly responsible for WWE's current boom and general success. Without her, we'd still have Vince working until he dies. If anyone should hate her, it should be AEW fans, because without her, AEW would still have a lot of the guys who left, and people would still be checking out AEW because WWE would still suck so much. Thank you, Janelle Grant. Thank you, David. Sheesh, man. I don't even know what to say to that. That's crazy. These people make up the most insane shits in their heads all the time. So this Anna C. DeMarco account, like, I used to follow her, but bro, she's like the queen of the fucking L takes. And I think she works for Wrestle Pierce or something, but love the return of the great Latino wrestler MJF. I don't know why I bookmarked that, but what I meant to bookmark was this: evil doesn't die, it reinvents itself. Triple H. About this we got to learn Chinese thing, even though Carlito made that up off the cuff. And how is that evil, bro? It's so crazy, the shit that gets put out there. And then I saw she's with like Ibu in them, so I realized that today. I was like, oh, makes sense. Just the most awful take. So guys, you guys thought we got rid of Jericho. It's time for Fozzy and Swerve covering Rage Against the Machine in Philly. Tony's paying for all that shit, dude. Are you a Rage Against the Machine fan, George?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I wonder if they can sue them. Because that's that hurts my ears.
I wonder if I can.
Yeah.
For damaging my fucking ears.
Exactly, Phil. Thank you.
Jeepers, man. That's hilarious. Okay, we're gonna unbookmark that. Actually, no, we have to keep that one bookmarked. I mean, that is just an all-time. Here, we will add it to the sickos folder. Okay. So this guy said, if I woke up tomorrow and found out Platinum Max was found in a ditch with self-inflicted wounds, I would be happy. Tony Khan, why is this piece of shit still employed? I've gone to countless AEW shows and spent tons of merch. That pipeline is closed while this dumb fuck is there. First off, you don't spend lots of merch, tons of merch, you idiot. And secondly, he wants Max Caster in a ditch dead. Because Max Caster, as I talked about before with Drew Gulak, look at this. So he did the SA thing, right, at Beyond Wrestling, and then Max Caster quote tweeted it and said, love this. And then he later deleted it. And then this guy's like wishing death on him. It's crazy, man. These people, well, we know. We chronicle them here, folks. These sickos are out of they're just, something bad's going to happen soon. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it's just people talking shit online, but I don't know, man. Moving along. From John Draper, he says, a billionaire is shook in the middle of the night because a wrestling podcaster who usually has more people in his streams listening to him than AEW has paid attendance for their flagship shows is not whitewashing his opinions on how bad their creative is. This is priceless. And yeah, so JD was trashing AEW, and then Tony Khan said something to him. I completely forget. I don't know if I have the other tweet. Yeah, he goes, why would you tell a fan they're stupid for just expressing their opinion? Everyone is allowed to have beliefs and opinions. It doesn't make them stupid. Which is true. Well, no, some opinions are stupid, actually. We got to be honest. Some opinions can be wrong, folks. They can, okay? But anyways, JD goes, because I can, Tony. It's all subjective. And then Tony goes, yes, exactly. It's all subjective. That's why I've never called you stupid once in 5 years, despite the fact that I often disagree with your opinions. Well, he's been shilling you for for 4 of the last 5 or whatever. And then JD goes, well, you couldn't call me stupid for the first 3 years because I was on your payroll, supposedly. In the last 2 years, as a fan, I disagree with you creatively. That's coming from someone who desperately stood for what you served us. Now I feel no emotion. Fix it. So I don't know, man. What do I make of this? For him to be like, fix it is, it's like, listen, he's not going to listen to anybody, but it's cute how Tony picks and chooses who he sells for JY, because fucking JD from NY, sorry, because JD from NY was putting him over forever. So now he's like offended that he's not, that's all it is. So he's not going to sell. I had Awful on. I was going to say this to him as well, but like, he's not going to sell for Awful. Or maybe I did say it to him. I forget. It's been over 3 hours. But yeah, it's like, Tony's not going to sell for an account like that. But for JD, it like, he does have a lot of listeners and stuff. And who knows if he's, I don't know. All I'm saying is this. Tony loves it when people stroke his ego and shit. He don't like it when people criticize him. That's everyone in the world. But at the end of the day, how you handle criticism is good. I know JD's trying to be all like, he's going over the top because he's new to this. He's new to fucking criticizing AEW, so I get it. But at the end of the day, Tony just shouldn't even pay these people any mind. And if Tony's saying he often disagreed with JD for 5 years, for a while, then it's like he was mostly putting your shit over, dude. So I don't know. I think people just say shit to say shit, and in any situation, most human beings will just say shit to get out of whatever situation in the moment, So, yeah, shout him out, I guess.
Bill, did you watch the 50-minute clip that he did on YouTube?
50?
Yeah, the one I sent you.
No, I did not watch that whole thing.
That was 50 minutes of JD ripping into Tony for the full 50 minutes.
Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll chop it up or something for us.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it on Patreon, because that's a long ass investment of
Yeah.
listening to JD for me. You know
But
what
he
I
made
mean?
he made some points. I'm not his biggest fan, but he did make some good points.
That's good, man. I mean, it's easy to when everybody's made fucking the points for you for the last 5 years already.
Exactly.
Not to diss him or anything, but Dashing Purpool says JD posted an hour-long video destroying Tony Khan. I will check it out, guys. I'm not hating on him
The
at
best
all.
guys, Tony Khan.
But yeah, he blocked me. Then JD unblocked me when he realized the shit I was saying was just the reality, and now he agrees with it all. So it is what it is, man. I'll check the video. Maybe we'll do it on Patreon or something. But speaking of other people in the IWC content creators, Alfred Konoa, this is the last one here for tonight, guys. I'll play this last Alfred Konoa one. He goes, after getting a raise from a desperate WBD to produce a product nobody cares about right now, Tony Khan can jumpstart AEW's momentum by hiring an elite co-incel as AEW Secretary of Social Media, one who can help AEW comment their way to the top. Vote Bix. So this is another one of these
David Bix
trailers for David Bixenspan, right? And there's a follow-up to this as well that I'm gonna play for you guys. But yeah, let's watch this.
David Bix has a clean record when it comes to dating, with no career girlfriends and zero riz. One single podcast from the Great Virgin has more hours than the amount of kisses in his whole life, and the same amount of listeners. Bix
Jesus
is a man of the pimple people, and nobody works harder to defend relatable billionaires against the evils of WWE like Davey Shit His Pants. Davey Kiss His Ass was such a sicko in real life, he became a recluse like Howard Hughes if he lost all his money. As a recluse who never touched grass, he was such a sicko on social media, he had to hide his tweets and block his replies. I'll give it
And I'm sure Manser loves being in his fucking picture with him there, Mance Warner.
2 weeks before that porker protects himself from the ubiquitous animosity he deserves and deletes both his eyeballs, like Oedipus Rex. Except the only difference between Oedipus and Bix is Oedipus actually fornicated, and Bix is just one blind motherfucker. These days, Bix is like Howard Hughes if he ran out of Ozempic, which is the closest he'll ever come to running anywhere. AEW sickos need a leader they can trust, and more importantly, a tweeter they can trust. one that can make them feel better about their lot in life. Because I don't care who you are, everybody's got it good compared to Bix. I'll bet somewhere in cell block C, Diddy is talking about, thank God I'm not Bix.
Oh my God.
Plus, it's not like Bix has anywhere to go. Just look at him. When I heard he spends 6 hours a day doing a podcast that nobody listens to, I said, GTFOH, only 6? Those hairs on his neck scream 10 hours at least. Tony Khan is building a super team of pro AEW podcasters to change creative for the better. So vote David Bix for AEW Secretary of Social Media.
Oh my God, another banger from This Is Nasty.
David
And there was a follow-up to this I saw where somebody let me see if I have it here, because someone was like, oh, so no surprise he dropped this video. God damn it, something came up about Bix, and then somebody tagged Konua and was like, oh, no wonder he made this video. I don't know. All I'm saying, I must not have, I don't know. I must have not bookmarked it, but botch on my end. But yeah, it's pretty funny how he's just going at them right now. And I don't know. I think it's going to just get crazy. And we are sort of at like a pass to where it's like, we're at almost like an impasse where it's like the old guard versus the new guard, you know? It's like, Dave Meltzer, we coming for you, sucker. Like this, it's all shifting, and these Bix guys are just getting roasted and shit. And I just think it's hilarious. Anthony Strano for $5 says JD waited till AEW hit rock bottom to shit on it. Now it looks like he's riding the wave. That's exactly how it comes across to a lot of us, especially people who like stuck their necks out and got gate kept and still get gate kept. You know what I mean? Like he is like the gatekeeper. He gate kept me. He fucking blocked me early on, instead of just being like, well, I disagree with you because this, and now he's saying the same exact things I said a while ago, and I never trashed him. He just didn't like my takes, you know. But I don't know, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let's here, I got one more for you guys, actually. Okay, so All Elite Botches is back. This one's very quick. He's back. All Elite Botches. Let's play this. I'll probably get Don Stevens, but fuck it. Damn, and shout out Viva Van. That sucks she just wiped out like that. I actually do like her. Yeah, we're getting pulled for that music for sure. Here, we'll just leave it muted. But yeah, I want to watch that again. She slips. Oh, and then Io Sky did the same thing on NXT, but she recovered so well. You know? She doesn't even wrestle usually on AEW, so I don't know. Don't hate on her, Botches. No, hate on whoever the hell you want. 2 count. Okay. Well, yeah, he's back. He's just like missed you guys. So hopefully he's back just making shit, because we missed him too in the IWC. Round of applause for Konua and just, I guess, All Elite Botches and Awful Wrestling and George Captor, who is here. Ladies and gentlemen, acknowledge George Captor. Thanks for hanging out with me the whole time too, buddy. I didn't know what your time was like, but I had a great time with you. So yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, but I appreciate your time as well, my friend.
Yeah, man, anytime. So we love having you in the chat too. And yeah, guys, we will be back this Saturday for a PLE watch along, I believe. What's this Saturday, guys? Let me know. Is it Bound for Glory? I totally forget. Either way, we will be back with a watch along if that's the case. Check out Patreon content. I'm dropping more of that. If you guys are on the Patreon, you know, members only stream I'll do tomorrow or Friday. And I have a new little thing I'm doing too. A new thing I'm kind of working on too. That's not like the live show, but it's kind of like the live show, but it's a little different. It's kind of like the member show for the public and all that, but I'm bringing that out like maybe tomorrow. That might happen tomorrow instead of the members only show. Who knows? But yeah, look for a run in from PWT. George, I want to thank you for being here. You guys have been the best. have been the best. Dynamite was, of course, again, the worst. Let's just be honest. And had a lovely time tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. And with that, we will see you in the Upside Down. Peace.
It is a fast-acting viral strain that infects the host immediately, and upon getting sick, the infected will become racked with coughs, sweat profusely, and start to get the shivers and chills.
There he is, the legend. The man, the myth, the legend.
You can't literally run a promotion just for the AEW, what do they call them, sickos?
Thank you very much, TikTok and AEW. See you tonight.
Tony Khan started telling people there's no such thing as long-term booking anymore. It's week to week.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
We just secured the bag. It's not like I tried to be a character. It was just sort of happened naturally. But it was never something I intended. It was just something that happened because the wrestlers asked me to do things in matches, and I do them.
If you run a promotion just for the sickos, you're going to do 400,000 viewers eventually.
Effing melts. Know that SmackDown actually went over and everything?
Yeah.
You know,
What's the point?
the point of SmackDown.
What are you getting at here?
That the DVRs didn't pick it up.
Did they not pick it up?
Mine didn't.
Let's get into everybody's favorite moment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week.
What would you like to listen to in your ears?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
We have just secured the bag.
It doesn't help me.
Okay, so complain, but
I will complain.
Let me have my misery.
And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Thank you, fuck you, bye. Boom.
You got to run a promotion for everybody. The sickos can be the ones that buy tickets first and spend the most money on the merchandise.
Because we have just secured the bag.
But like, you got to promote for everybody. Then you'll have a lot of viewers.
I think we proved a lot of so-called experts. We made them look like idiots. We're not going anywhere. Tony Khan's not going anywhere.
You'll also be there on TNT. You'll be in 2 places at once. You'll be around my favorite movie. Time. So great, Pittsburgh. It's not like I tried to be a character. Sort of happened naturally.
the best guy is Tony Khan.
To keep themselves safe.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jeff, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk and we smile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spent our lives on trial. We walk and we smile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand, we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Get wild! Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Well, folks, it's been a night to remember, but right now we are out of time. I'm Nick Diamond.
I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And I'm Johnny Gomez. On behalf of all of us here at Celebrity Deathmatch, good fight, good night.